O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ADX. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
The Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our Grand Bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ZDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good morning, boys and girls. It's a Friday, October 3rd, 2025. Hope you're feeling good. Day number 18,889 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Welcome aboard to the show. We are loaded. David Furones will join us to talk a little Dolphins. Manny Navarro will also join us to talk a little Hurricanes, the Hurricanes. And remember, this weekend, we continue the work. Saturday night, we'll be on. No pregame. We'll do postgame only. I do enough. Postgame, we're going to do UMFSU, of course. So we will be here. Come back to the platform. We will be here for that. And then Sunday, we return. Okay, and we do our pre and post game show for the Miami Dolphins. So come back. We'll be on at 11:30. We'll take you till about 12:30. We do a shorter pregame show nowadays. So anyway, we will be here, and then on the post game show, of course, Chris Perkins will join David Furones as always, because Furones is on all the time, but Perkins joins us for the post game. And we'll see if the Dolphins can get to 2-3, which would be really, really, really nice. Today is day number 102 consecutive days of Bitcoin being over $100,000. I don't think you're ever going to see Bitcoin under 100,000, but that's just kind of the way it goes. And speaking of the Canes, it is day number 8,673 since the Canes were the national title winners. So those are the clocks, the countdowns that we're following here on the show. The great Sean Stanley is the one and only person that masters this entire platform every single day. So make sure you give some love to the one and only Sean Stanley. Always getting it done. So that's what we got going on all weekend. We will be here working and grinding for you as the football season moves forward. So we'll see what happens. And we got a lot of other football stuff to talk about, a lot of silliness to correct, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to have some fun with Furones here at 10:30 too, on the Shador front. So we'll have some fun with that one, because I was having some fun with him going back and forth. And I think a lot of people are kind of lost on that one. They're not really looking at it the way they're supposed to be looking at it. But anyway, it is what it is. That's kind of how life is. You know what I mean? Some guy told me on Twitter, he goes, man, because, you saw last night in the Rams game, it was all Niners fans. They all sold their tickets, like the worst fans in the world. And some guy goes to me, LA has two teams. How does that make any, and they're the worst fans. How does it make any sense for the NFL? And I told them it does make sense. It's all about money, dude. That's the TV market. That market right there, you're going to be able to sell. It's a destination city. Not every city in the United States is a destination city. LA is one of them. That people will flock to LA to go see their favorite team on the road. So it doesn't matter if the fans don't go to Los Angeles or Las Vegas. People will travel to those places to fill the rest of those seats easily with no problem. You know what I'm saying? So they know, and then the corporate money that's there and all that, nobody gives a shit about the fans. On that level, the owners and all, they don't give a shit about you guys. I try to tell you this all the time. The people in the seats don't matter. It's the advertising, it's the suites, it's the TV revenue. That's what drives the league. You people in the seats, you're the change in the ashtray. You know what I'm saying? And so they don't care if their fans aren't loyal in Los Angeles, which they're not. It's a very transient city. Not everybody that lives in LA was born and raised in LA. So it's a lot like South Florida. That South Florida has a ton of people. Like, I'm rare in South Florida. I'm born and raised in the 305. That's unheard of. Unheard of. By the way, a Belle Glade in 1966 was 305. Just in case, okay? So I was born and raised in the 305. It's just, because sometimes I've had that before. Wait a minute. You say you're born and raised in the 305. Dude, you're born in Belle Glade. Yeah, mother effer. And in 1966, the area code 305 was really large. It went to like Central Florida. Just, I'm old, man. You know what I mean? You don't know these things. There was no 786. There was no 561. There's no 954. There's no 754. None of that shit existed, dude. It was all 305. It's all ball bearings nowadays. Come on, what's wrong with you? Anyway, so just funny, man. Funny. And that money drives it all. That's what it is. That league just prints money. Like our government. Except their value goes up, our dollar doesn't. That's the only difference. It's the only exchange there. That's not a good one there. Anyway, I see Dolphin Dave is number one in the hands. NorCal is firing it up on a Friday. Horn Dog is horny. John Padilla, Captain Saki is in. I have my earbuds in. Best show on the planet. Thank you, man. That's very nice of you. Very nice, Captain Saki. I don't deserve it, but I got to go fishing with you. I got to grab the wife and go out there and go fishing with you, man. I got to go out to the West Coast and join you one day. Alexis Palenzuela, One-Eyed Jack, Stephen Harris, Kosa, J.G. Long. I will join him in Malaysia one day, that's for sure. That man lives the life. You see, I follow him on Instagram all the time. Luis Notare, Guillermo, Juan, Lenny Peña, Jay Gatto, Jay Gelfin is in the house. He's ready. Says Canes are going to blow away the Knolls. Fort Lauderdale United playing at the same time, so it's going to be a loud night for me. Yeah, I know. It's like our heads are going to be spinning watching multiple TVs. We got Saturday night. We've got obviously the Canes and FSU, Fort Lauderdale United, right, on the road taking on Tampa, which was the championship game last year. So that's a rematch. And Inter Miami is also playing on Saturday. It's crazy, dude. There's a lot of stuff going on Saturday night. Gus 1388, Devin Jordan, Gabriel Perez, Jamie Zoria out in San Jose. NorCal says fan club weekend is 7 days away. Boat campers in Fort Lauderdale, all right, on the 11th of this month, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., come see the fans from the Worldwide Dolphins Club. That's the shirt I was wearing your shirt, NorCal, on Sunday for the game. Support the fundraiser and possibly win cool signed prizes, Fins for Life. So there you go. And the place gets jam-packed. I've been to it, okay? Jam-packed. So come on out. You get to meet a lot of the fans. It's really, really cool. Big O, you're spinning facts. The Dolphins don't care about the fans. Oh yeah, no, and it's not a Dolphin thing. It's the NFL. The NFL doesn't give a shit about fans. That you guys are just like, it's just like the icing on the cake and all that. They already had their cake. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. Lisa Rose in the house. Buffalo stole our 716 area code from Rochester. Just another reason for me to hate them. Now it's Rock 585. I got you. Jeff is in Long Island. We used to be 516. Now Long Island is 516 and 631. Yeah. Yep. Like half the state was 305 in Florida, or maybe even close to the whole state. It was ridiculous. But yeah, up in the like Palm Beach, the west, where I was born, it is the northwestern corner of Palm Beach County. Put it that way. Okay. And now that is like I think that's not even 561. I think that's a 754 area code or something like that. Anybody watching in Belglades or listening or whatever in Belglades, give me a heads up what it is. But I think it's I don't even think it's 561. I think it's the second area code of Palm Beach. And I think it's 754. Yes, sir?
It's 561 and 728 was added in March of 2023.
754 is the one in Broward, right? It's the second other one. It's the other one that they added in Broward. That's what it is.
Yeah,
right?
The 950 and the 750.
That's what it is, right? Okay. So the 928 is over there in what's it called? In Palm Beach. So, but it was all 305 back in the day. So I'm born and raised in the 305. Because everybody looks at 305 and say, oh yeah, that's just Miami. Yeah, no, it's, all depends on when you were born. Big O 49ers taking over Rams house is a pride thing in California. I'm in the Bay Area. Dude, it's a disgusting thing. That's all it is. Whose house? Niners house. I mean, seriously, John, you can't allow your entire stadium. You're a shit fan, dude. All I can say is LA fans, you're loyal to your Lakers and your Dodgers, but you're not loyal to your football teams. Why? You've never really kept your football teams. They've come and gone. So you have no real allegiance to your football teams. Look at the Chargers. They're not yours. They're San Diego's. And then the Rams is supposed to be the LA's, and yet it was filled with Niners fans last night. Like jam-packed with Niners fans. That doesn't happen in any stadium in the country. The only stadium that happens is in LA. That's it. You'll get some stadiums, like down here, you'll get 5,000, 6,000, 8,000 fans that'll come for a team. That'll happen, for sure. It's going to happen, but like that? No, doesn't happen anywhere except LA. Why? Because let's talk about this, because I thought about this, and I like to think about it. Think about things a little next level. And you have created fake fans in Los Angeles, right? Los Angeles clearly has phony NFL fans. They're real for the Dodgers. They're real about their Lakers. There's no doubt those are real fans. But football, it's half-ass. It's not real. Okay? Even the Charger thing now, that's not LA. LA doesn't even want the Chargers, and they can't even support the Rams. That's how pathetic they are as football fans. LA's a joke. Okay? An absolute joke when it comes to football. But guess who's also a fucking joke? Just like the Rams. Inter Miami, buddy. The second Messi's done, all those fraudulent fans that are there, because they're not real Inter Miami fans. I've been telling you this is nothing new on this show. Nothing new. So I'm glad I can tie it together. Okay? What you saw with the Rams is the same shit you'll see with Inter Miami. Inter Miami has not built a fan base at all. At all. They just have Messi, so our Argentine community shows out. Did you see the last game, how many empty seats there were? The Messi thing is done, bro. Done. If it's not the Argentine community, it's not like this crazy ass thing that everybody's dying to go to anymore. You know, and they hurt themselves with their lack of performance in the playoffs last year because it proved to be a fraudulent thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I to me, like this group has to kind of prove themselves in the playoffs. But back to the real conversation. The NFL has failed to really build a real fan base in LA. It's never kept a team there, which is stupid because no matter what kind of fiscal issues you had to try to figure out a way to keep a team in Los Angeles. When you have one of the two biggest markets in the country, you got to find a way to make it work. Okay? So that's where the NFL failed many times already in LA, and moving them out, moving them in, moving them out. So that's the problem that you've earned now, unfortunately. You have no loyalty in Los Angeles, and you saw it last night. It was loaded, absolutely loaded with Niners fans. I mean, it was pathetic. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. Never, ever seen anything like that in my entire life. So I can tell you that, and I'm watching Inter Miami, and the same thing is going to happen. The second Messi retires, whatever has shown up will disappear. Will disappear right into the sunset. And you will have attendance issues here. Because you didn't build it the right way. You didn't build it with young guys that people got to, get to know, which is what you should have done over these last couple of years. Next to Messi, you should have put somebody else instead of Messi and his friends. And you have to give in to everything that he says, which, by the way, has not paid off because you haven't won anything. So what you saw with the Rams is what you're going to see with Inter Miami. Rams fans disappear, so will Inter Miami fans. Fraudulent fans. When leagues build fraudulent fans, and the NFL has built fraudulent fans in Los Angeles, and the Moss brothers are in the process of building fraudulent fans. No, they have built fraudulent fans already here in South Florida. So, but hey, man, more power to the Argentine community. They get to at least, relive their memories and have some fun and then go home. But the average person really doesn't give a shit about that. Like for me personally, I understand Messi's one of the greatest, and I understand he's won all that stuff abroad and in tournaments and all that kind of stuff. But as a Inter Miami fan, it doesn't mean shit to me. The only thing that means to me is that, dude, you were the best team in the league last year, and you choked like a dog in the first round. That's the only thing I see. Outside of that, I don't see any. The other stuff wasn't done for me. I don't really care about the other stuff. So I get it. Some of you are still living your Barcelona, PSG, and Argentine memories. Those aren't my memories. Those aren't things I really give three flying about. You know what I'm saying? So none of that is, I'm not sitting here like the Little River Band and reminiscing. You know what I'm saying? So that's where Inter Miami lost me in that sense. So here's where I am. What have you done for me? And when I look at Messi, you haven't done shit for me. Yeah, great regular season, but that's not what it's about, dude. We're about the postseason in this country, my friend. Put on a show in the regular season doesn't mean anything if you're going to choke in the postseason. So, but hey, you go ahead and reminisce out there, Argentine community. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourselves. And Moss Brothers, exceptional job of absolutely building nothing here when it comes to foundation. You should have learned from the Panthers. Guys that you can actually keep around for 7, 10, 12 years. That way a generation can grow up with them. But all you do is trade your young guys. Wow, that makes sense. Yeah, just make it a transient team. That's going to really fly here in South Florida. It's beautiful to have money and just throw it at every problem, and it doesn't really matter. Fins fan 911. Thank you for the love on this super chat. He says, Big O, have you seen the shape Zion is in? Dude is finally in shape. Maybe the light bulb finally went off. Fly, Pelican, fly. Maybe. But there's two things with Zion. One is fatness, and the other is he's always injured. So I don't know if all the injuries really had to do because he's fat. Because even when he wasn't rotund and he was in decent shape, even at Duke, he got injured. He's always gotten injured. So he has to prove, one, that he can stay away from the drive-thrus, and two, that he can prove to be durable. Okay? Nobody doubts the ability. Everybody doubts the character and the, I guess, physical makeup. So, yes, I've seen that he's in great shape and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, with him, there's so much failure that's involved that you can't get excited at all about Zion until Zion actually does it for a couple of years. And then when he's done it for 2 years straight, at least, where he's not getting injured, he's not getting fat again, he's not doing stupid things, then all of a sudden you can say, hey, he matured and he turned the corner. Our problem in our society is we're too quick to anoint somebody when they haven't arrived yet. So he hasn't arrived yet. It's a nice step forward. Let's wait. Let's see what happens. Let's see if he really figured it out, or unfortunately, his body's not made for this, no matter if he's skinny or fat. We're going to find that out. Because I've only seen a guy that constantly gets injured. And that's the issue there. By the way, Bitcoin continues to be over $120,000. It's actually held. Remember, it crossed 120 with us. Went to 121. So we'll see if it starts going up towards that area. It's just over 120,000 right now. As for the markets, well, the Dow is doing well. It's up 341 points. The S&P is up 17 points, and the NASDAQ is up about a half a point right now. So that's what we've got going on. Let me give you a little bit on the crypto side, talk a little crypto. U.S. Treasury, by the way, they bought more of their debt yesterday. They bought $4.9 billion now this week. And by the way, bondholders wanted to dump $21.6 billion. They weren't able to dump it all. This is a form of quantitative easing. Before the feds do it and start lowering rates and continue to lower rates and flood the market with money, this is another way. They are buying back debt by printing money because they don't have the money to buy it. So they have to go print it, which is our money. And so this continues to. Our debt, by the way, has crossed the 37.5 trillion mark. We were just crossing 37 trillion recently. We'll be crossing 38 very soon at the pace that they're printing. This is just completely going out of style. Just telling you, they are devaluing the dollar, and you see the dollar, it is just going down. It has lost over 10% of its value since the beginning of the year. All right. So unemployment rate continues to climb. It is bad, dude. Our economy's slowing, and we keep printing and printing and printing. Coinbase, by the way, has now partnered with Samsung to offer Bitcoin and crypto services through Samsung Pay. They have 75 million customers. I can only lead a horse to water. It's up to you to drink it. It's not financial advice by any stretch of the imagination. But hey, study what's going on with our money and study what's going on with Bitcoin, and the math will be pretty simple. By the way, we thank Ray and Mike at R&M Contractors for this segment. As always, complete remodel, kitchen upgrades, and appliances. Call Ray or Mike. They can get it done for you. Waterproofing for your terrace, your balcony, impact windows, door installation, bathroom upgrades, floor restoration, maintenance, stucco repair, interior, exterior paint, drywall. They do it all for you, and they do it at an incredibly high level. Okay, the Dolphins wish they would play at their level. They're at the Panthers championship level. So go to their Instagram page, RMC Fisher Island. That's RMC Fisher Island. And check out R&M Contractors. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. All right. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar with the one and only Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. Rams, they lose to the San Francisco 49ers. Niners have a ton of injuries. They win 26-23. Niners improved to 4-1. Right now, Kyle Shanahan might be the coach of the year. Seriously, with the amount of injuries that they have, to be 4-1, it's pretty amazing. Mac Jones led the way. He's played well for them, filling in for Brock Purdy. 342 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Kendrick Bourne, man, the former Patriot, 10 receptions, 142 yards. Crazy stuff. Saturday night, the University of Miami will visit Florida State. The number 3 team in the country is favored by 4.5 points. FSU is plus 155 on the money line. Miami is minus 130 on the money line. The over and under is 54.5. Riverfront Stadium in Tampa will be the site of the rematch of the finals of the Gamebridge Super League finals last season, when the Fort Lauderdale United took on Tampa Bay and they won the title. Well, Fort Lauderdale looking for some revenge. They are the number 1 team in the league. They're unbeaten. They've won 3 in a row. 7:30 Saturday night. You can watch it on Peacock and Channel 10. Also, Saturday at 7:30, Inter Miami will be hosting the New England Revolution. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Cats will have the 3rd cup by the end of this season, says Jay Gatto. Thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. Appreciate you. Very nice of you. And I'm super pumped about this season. I'm really intrigued to see how the team overcomes the first half without Kachuk, and then you add Kachuk, and you'll have a healthy Kachuk, which you haven't had in 2 years. And I'm interested in that because all of a sudden you've got a reinvigorated superstar that hasn't been himself for 2 years, and he's going to want to show that he's himself. And I think that's going to be really good. And Barkov, you saw Spo when he said he thought, well, no, I'll be back in 5-6 months or whatever. Who knows? Maybe he can make it back in 6-7 months and make it back for the back end of the playoffs. That would be awesome. But this team is deep enough that they can make this cup run even more special because they had to overcome some kind of adversity. Or several adversities, because, of course, we haven't even started the season, and stuff will happen again, as it always does, because that's life, man. Stuff is going to happen to us in life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, interesting stuff. Dolphins, by the way, favored by 1. Remember, our pregame show will start off at 11:30, so come on back to us on Sunday. Over and under is 44.5. Dolphins minus 120 on the money line. The Panthers are plus 100 on the money line. All right, let me see. I know that David is about to pop in. What else do we have? Big O, my Dolphins, bubble of my favorite memories. Born in 91 here. I witnessed Dolphins win versus the Broncos in 98. Ricky Williams years of the Wildcat. That era, don't pop my balloon, Bubble O. Yeah, those are fun times. They weren't championship, but they were, at least they were better than some of the things that we've gone through lately. At least the Ricky Williams years were a little better. I will agree. No doubt about it. And the Marino years were fun too. We didn't win it, but it was fun. It was fun. Lisa says that's almost as bad as when the Bills fans take over Hard Rock. I refuse to come to games against them in Miami. Yeah, and when they're bad, you'll see 15, 20,000, but you're not going to see like the whole stadium. I mean, the whole stadium was Niners. That was crazy, dude. That was insane. Lewis says Niners have a big fan base. When the Chargers were trash and the Dolphins would go to San Diego, but they're not going to fill the entire stadium. You know what I mean? Although maybe that little stadium that they have now, it's a lot easier. But that's different. That's because they're in LA and they're not wanted there. That's why. All right, let's do it. David Furones is ready to go. Let's get to our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welt and Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
Right. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Feeling good. About to head out to Charlotte tomorrow, catch that game on Sunday. Got to watch my Canes somewhere Saturday night over there, and then cover the Dolphins against the Panthers.
Okay. Yeah, you should. You're in Charlotte, right? In downtown Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, you'll be fine. I did Charlotte once for the SEC media days.
Okay.
They were in Charlotte once, and that was fun. You'll have no problem.
SEC or ACC?
SEC.
It was SEC over there. Okay.
No, it was ACC.
Yeah,
that was ACC. That's right. SEC was in Georgia. Was in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Atlanta, and then I did it also in Hoover. There were two different places that I did the SEC media days. I remember I did SEC, and then I only did the ACC once. Once I roasted Al Golden there, they never brought me back again.
No way. They actually wouldn't credential you, or?
No. The station, and obviously the University of Miami's media relations is one of the weakest I've ever seen in my life. They can't take any kind of criticism. But I, obviously when you go for the ACC stuff, it's just about ass kissing and pom-poms, but I wasn't going to do that with Al Golden. I wasn't going to allow him to get away with that. So I roasted his ass. And you remember when he had a linebacker when I forgot what team it was they were playing. They were at the 1 or 2 yard line, but his linebackers were like 8 yards.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
All right. So I brought out that and I showed it and I said, like, can you explain how this makes any sense? And, I had him blah, 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 blah. And then Paul Johnson walks behind us and he even goes, well, he also runs it too.
Wow.
That was his explanation. It was classic. It was really good. It was just
that one, because I remember that, and I feel like everyone was on Mark D'Onofrio, the defensive coordinator, for that. But the thing is, Al Golden tied himself to D'Onofrio for way too long. I mean, he had to move off of his buddy there. We're talking. This is 10 years ago now, but that was my recollection.
Excuse my French, but how the fuck do you have at the 1 yard line that somebody's trying to rush in? How is your linebacker lined up 7 yards deep into the damn end zone? I'm sorry, the math doesn't. That's what I told them. The math doesn't jive here. The distance between the running back to get inside the end zone is a lot shorter than your linebacker to get to the line. Like, how does that make any sense? Please explain this to me, coach. And he had a whole bunch of gobbledygook and all that. And obviously right there, the media relations people were shitting in their pants. So they were telling QAM and, obviously they folded like a cheap 10. And we can't send Orlando back there. He's actually going to ask real questions. We don't want that. cheerleaders and pom-poms while we're there. You know what I'm saying? So, it just.
Now, let me also get the timeline on this, because then this would be a play from the previous season, like somewhere in the middle of the previous season.
Yeah, it was towards. I think it was closer towards the end. It was a key game.
Yeah.
That decided something in the season. I forgot what it was, dude, but it was just like a thing that nobody asked him about this.
No one did back then when it happened, right? So this was your next chance to talk to him. This is like the next time you saw him? Okay, yeah.
This is my only chance. I don't cover the Canes, that.
Yeah.
I was always a Dolphins guy and a Heat guy. Those are the things that I covered permanently. When I first got to the station, they handed me the Marlins. Okay, and guess what? When I got there, it was 97. So they handed me the Marlins at the right year. You know what I mean? We won the World Series, and I'm full of champagne. And then I begged them, I'm a football guy. Please get me the Dolphins. I think we had Jody Jackson there. And then Jody left to Arizona. And then that's when I swooped in and took over the Dolphins beat and the Heat beat from that moment on. When Jody left from QAM to Arizona, I took over. And then I took it over for like 8 years or something like that I did it. But then they needed me to fill in for the ACC. And I knew what this guy was doing, and I was like, nah, dude, you're not getting away with this shit. So I had to put his feet to the fire there, and I had to ask him for that because nobody had challenged him about that.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause my only argument would have been that the timing would have been odd to do it right before the very next season, like months later. But if no one did ask him back when it happened, and I remember it. I remember that play where, that's something like you got to ask in the media. So if that's true that no one did ask him back then I feel you were entitled to follow up and finally you get an answer on that.
Yeah, nobody challenged him about that. Now, every radio tough guy was talking about it. Writers were writing about it, but nobody actually questioned him about it. And that's, that's all right, dude. I'm used to being the bad guy. It's all right, bro. That's been my life. I'm good with that. I can live with that, man. I'm a big boy. I can handle that kind of stuff. All right, let's get to, what? Before we get to Dolphins, I want to get into a really interesting conversation with you because I think you are looking at the Shedeur Sanders situation very general, and you're on the side that you're going completely after this kid.
No.
Okay.
I'm going after this kid?
Yeah, you say
he's digging himself a hole. But go ahead. What's your question?
No, I don't believe he's digging himself a hole at all, dude. What's gone on here was Sanders' family wants to challenge the system. Okay, from the get-go. They wanted to challenge the system. They didn't want to land somewhere where they were going to get screwed and all that. So they made it hard on the interviews, and that's probably a bad move on their part. But the NFL clearly wanted to dick them back when it's all said and done. And everybody was not going to draft him. Remember, the team that drafted him is the same team that signed an alleged rapist to a fully guaranteed contract. Okay? So the Cleveland Browns become a clown show, which they drafted another quarterback before him. And let me ask you, just out of curiosity, I want to know your real opinion on this. You taking Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders? And are you starting Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders?
No, I was shocked when the Browns took Dylan Gabriel with Shedeur Sanders still on the board. I
don't care about the Browns. I'm asking you, what would you do?
Yeah, I would have had Shedeur. Shedeur Sanders was higher on my board. I didn't have a really board,
So your reality is that Shedeur Sanders is the backup quarterback to Joe Flacco. That's your reality, right? He was better than Pickett. He's better than Dylan Gabriel. I get it if you want to start the veteran, but Shedeur should be the second guy, right? If that's the reality.
That talent base, I think, yeah. I think Shedeur Sanders. I'm not watching Dylan Gabriel, but yes. I loved what Shedeur did in the preseason when he did get a chance.
Okay, so guess what's going on? They're purposely keeping the kid down. The league and now the Browns basically doing it. So since everybody's just punking the kid at the moment, I love that he's punking them back, because as you, as a guy on the beat, should know, nobody wants to talk to the third quarterback, bro. Bullshit, bro. Nobody wants to talk to the backup quarterback. And the only reason a media member went over to the third quarterback, porque son unos fucking descarados. Because all they want to do is stir bullshit up, because they know if they go there, there's no story. He's not playing. There's no reason for you to go as a media member over there. It's irresponsible on your part. You're only going there for a bad motive. So guess what the kid does? You're an idiot franchise that signs a rapist. You're an idiot franchise that makes your third quarterback available. All NFL teams, I've been there, bro. They can round you all up and say, hey, the third quarterback or this player is not available. If they even walk in the locker room, do not approach them. And you cannot approach them. And that's happened a billion times in this business. And if the Browns didn't want this mess and this circus, they would have done the responsible thing and say, hey, nobody talks to the third quarterback, period, end of story, and nobody approaches him. Because the only reason a media member would approach him is with a bad motive in place. There's no storyline. If you wanted to set up a story with the media relations, say, hey, I'm doing a personal story because he donated to some kids thing, or he did some, I want to do a personal interest story. Then you can go talk to the third quarterback on your own, one-on-one. They'll set it up for you. But nobody allows you to talk to the third quarterback. There's no reason to talk to the third quarterback, bro. None.
All right, first on that point, you're wrong, because all training camp, the stories that we do best covering the Dolphins were about Quinn Ewers. All right. Now he's not going to be starting during the
regular season. Let's keep.
Oh yeah, and we haven't talked to Quinn Ewers, but he's still a third quarterback of interest.
No.
If we talk to Quinn Ewers, that story will get some readership.
Are you talking to Quinn Ewers in the regular season?
No, but the Dolphins also don't have a quarterback change. It's not Zach Wilson coming in, and then I think if Zach Wilson were to be coming in for Tua, we'd be getting Quinn Ewers' reaction.
Did you talk to Quinn Ewers this week leading up to the game? He's the emergency quarterback.
No, absolutely not.
Well, I'm sorry. Did you talk to him last week? He's the emergency quarterback.
No, we're not talking to Quinn Ewers.
Hold on
I
a second.
totally understand Browns media talking to Shedeur Sanders, though, because he was supposed to be some said he was supposed to be the number one pick.
No, he's not.
You're covering them all season.
My brother, you got to stop. Let's stay in reality. We're not talking about training camp. We're not talking about supposed to. We're talking about the regular season, how business is done in the regular season. I just asked you, did you talk to Quinn Ewers?
And you know what? You're spending like 5-6 minutes here blaming the media. How about the player? All right, let's focus on the player controlling what he can control. You want to focus on the media. You're shifting this conversation to where it's not supposed to go. Blaming the media. The media is going to go to you if you're giving them all this out of this world reaction. Now coming with your own unique way to react and say you're not saying anything by doing this thing that no one else has ever done. Yeah, the media is coming at you for reaction, but he's not controlling what he can control.
But you're feeding into it by saying, he's setting himself back. No, dude, he's clowning and mocking something that should
himself. He's clowning himself.
No, he's
congratulations if you think he's clowning everyone that follows him. No, he's digging himself a bigger hole.
Not really, because eventually you'll have to start him and he'll get his say. And when he plays well, if he plays well, he'll get to control his destiny and tell the Browns to go screw themselves, and they'll have to tag him just to keep him if they want to keep him. And so it'll become a worse circus for him because of the way the Browns have mishandled it, when the owner even said it wasn't my draft pick. Okay, so I do blame the media for going to the third quarterback, because nobody ever goes to the third quarterback, as you proved it right there. And I blame the Browns.
He's not controlling. He can control.
Like I told you, I blame the Browns organization because they can put a kibosh on it, because nobody talks to the third quarterback, as proven by you in 2025 or in many years that I covered the league. Nobody gives a shit about the third quarterback until he plays. Now, if there are 2 injuries in this game and then Shedeur plays, now the media can talk to Shedeur. But the fact that everyone else has clowned this whole thing, it's because they're trying to keep the kid down from the get-go. I just asked you, what's common sense? Who's the second best quarterback on the team? You agreed with me that it's Shedeur. So then why are we doing all of this? Why is he 3? Why was he 4? Why was he behind Kenny Pickett on top of all of that? And why is it that they keep doing all of this? So while they keep doing this, I'm glad he's doing that, because the real clowns are the Browns and the media falling for this bullshit that the league is pulling on the Sanders family.
You seem to be so focused on everything that has been put in front of Shedeur Sanders, on all the excuse me, sorry, on everything that he's going through and the media attention that he gets.
Yes.
How about he handles himself like a pro when he does have this in front of him and goes, all he had to do was the most obvious course of action. All right, media's coming to me. One, yeah, it looks terrible if the Browns say you can't talk to him, because then you prove that he can't be trusted.
No, Papa.
Let me finish. I'll let you talk. 2.
That's normal. That's normal in the NFL.
No, they wouldn't block. The media relations staff wouldn't block media from going. If I went to Quinn Ewers right now, I could in the locker room. I could, and eventually I do want to write a story on him. So I haven't spoken to him yet, because there's been all this fire Mike McDaniel banter and banners flying, and there's Tua having his turnover issues.
You don't talk to the third because he's not a story. That's why you're not going to talk to Quinn Ewers until he's a story. That's what the third quarterback is. He's not.
No, but that story, what a lot of people are interested in how Quinn Ewers is doing behind the scenes. So that story would be something that would draw some traction, some reaction once it does come out. I just haven't had a chance to get around to it. But Quinn Ewers, like Shedeur Sanders, is a third-string quarterback of interest, because he also fell in the draft and was expected to go higher on a different scale. Shedeur was thought to be the number 2 quarterback. Some people had him number 1, and he ends up going in the 5th round and he is Deion Sanders' son. Yeah, there's reasons why. There's an abundance of reasons. He had his college number retired at his alma mater. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of reasons why Shedeur Sanders is deserving of media attention as a whole. And then now when media goes to him,
don't you find it odd that the team drafts him and yet puts him 4th on the depth chart, when you yourself and most of us would say, with half a brain, whether you think he's good or not, he's still the best quarterback that they have, and yet they're putting him through this entire circus.
But the Browns did select a different quarterback before him. So that's the Browns depth chart. So that's consistent with what the Browns did on draft day. They drafted another quarterback before him. He's going to be ahead of him.
So why not trade Sanders instead of Pickett if you had Pickett in front of him? You know, it's just these are just
Sanders, because no other team wants Sanders. This is the biggest thing, is that no team is looking at Sanders do that shit and saying, "Oh man, we missed out on him. Damn, I wish I had Shedeur Sanders. When I had a chance in the 4th round, I should have drafted him because look at what he's doing over there. He's putting together this clown show mime thing, bro." 32 out of 32 teams are looking at that like, woo, the Browns included.
And why would the Browns be the ones to do this whole circus when he's clearly better than everybody else? It's because the Sanders family wanted to challenge the system, because they didn't want to end up like normal quarterbacks, high picks, that you end up in terrible places. So they were trying to control it like the Manning. It has definitely backfired on them. There's no doubt about that. But if you don't see that the Browns are part of this clown show, and then the media is feeding into it, so he's just doing the same. He's just fighting the system, is what he's doing. That's all he's doing, fighting the system.
I don't know about the system. I mean, some of that conspiracy stuff maybe could be. I'm not privy to that. And 2, as the media, you're going to feed into what the fans want to know. So fans, because look, this goes up, and everyone is talking about Shedeur Sanders did this. One, because Shedeur Sanders did something that no other professional athlete would do in this situation. Even though everyone wants to say, you see, he's proven him wrong. He even when he doesn't say anything, everyone plays the clip. Yeah, because it's going viral. Everyone's retweeting it, and everyone's interested in this. As opposed to, I can't even find the Dylan Gabriel video of him probably saying all the right things in front of the media about taking the job, and Joe Flacco probably saying all the right things about him being the quarterback replaced. All Shedeur Sanders had to do was go up there and say, hey, Dylan Gabriel's doing a fantastic job. He really earned that starting role. I'm just trying to get better, and Joe Flacco has been a tremendous leader for the both of us. And as a media member, I might tout him for growth and maturity if he just went ahead and did that. But instead, he's going and doing his own clown show to retaliate against what he perceives is a clown show against him.
Meanwhile, the Grossi guy was going after him the entire time, even when he was doing, stuff that's all right. You say it yourself that he's the better quarterback, but you can see that they're purposely keeping him down. It's like it's on purpose that they're doing this.
I don't know if he's a better quarterback in practice under their system, in their scheme. I'm not there. I'm not coaching them. I'm not with them day in and day out. But I mean, I had him higher as a draft prospect than Dylan Gabriel. That's what I know.
And would you take him over Kenny Pickett?
Well, I take him over Kenny Pickett. I don't know how he's doing in that system in their practice, but for his
overall,
knowing what Kenny Pickett is and what Shedeur can be, I would take his potential. Sure.
Okay. I think all of us with just a half a brain would take Shedeur over all those quarterbacks. Okay, you want to start with the veteran Flacco, that's fine. But if you're not doing this, then there's obviously something going on, and he knows that because of the way they mishandled the draft part of it, that he's getting played here. And so why is he going to be the guy that follows and kisses their ass when he's not getting any breaks? He's being put behind Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel. That's how he's being rewarded. So, why make a clown show of the clown show? That's what you do. That's what the Browns are. They're a clown show. I'm glad he is mocking everything, because the fact that even the media is going there, it's because they're going there with one motive, and it's not a good one. Because
you're so focused on the media motive.
The media is the one that stirred. They're the ones that go to Shedeur Sanders when there's no reason to go to Shedeur Sanders. Zero.
No, because they know that that he's probably going to have something to say, and that there's a lot of interest in. But that's because he set himself up for that because of the way he's acted every level to this point.
Stop with the interest, bro. Please stop with the interest.
Yes,
they're not going there.
The only thing people care about is the whole situation. No one's talking about Dylan Gabriel. How come everyone's reaction? First Take, I was just watching them before I joined you. They're talking about Shedeur Sanders, not what's Dylan Gabriel doing well behind the scenes to now be the starting quarterback.
ESPN is that those people there are taking fake stances. You're actually taking a real stance, and so am I. That's the difference. This is actually a real discussion where you believe Sanders is the problem, and I believe the media and the league and the Browns are the bigger problem than anything else. Sanders is clowning what's going on because he's challenging the system.
Here's the overriding point.
This is a real disagreement. The bullshit that goes on ESPN, somebody has to take a side. That's what they
exactly. Yeah. Which I love this discussion, by the way.
Right.
But here's the overriding point: is that there's any backup quarterback, any third string quarterback, any player who's not getting playing time in the NFL, any player who's not getting their opportunity with a team, they all have their reasons to believe they're being undervalued, they're being undermined. For Shedeur Sanders, that's this exactly everything that you're laying out, and that the media then goes to him for a reaction over. Okay, but deal with it like a pro. There is not that you're not helping yourself with the Browns, number one. You're not helping yourself with any of the other 31 teams who may end up having a quarterback injury, may down the road be looking for a quarterback. no GM, no NFL team is watching that and saying, you know what, Shedeur is the guy that I could see myself now going after. They're all going like, man, we dodged the bullet there. I don't need that clown show in my locker room.
So you really think that when the same team signed a rapist? You really think that when the same team signed a rapist? I saw Art Schlichter.
What's the point with that? I don't know.
Whatever Shedeur Sanders is, he's not a rapist, bro. Okay? He's not going to be. You're not going to have to worry about him actually like attacking women all over the country. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty good, at least.
I mean, is that your standard? Is just like that? That's the only thing we need to worry about. That's a lot of people. A lot of people are not rapists.
This league bring back Art Schlichter several times when he's like passing, bad checks and bankruptcy and all kinds of, shit. I've seen them bring back Tommy Kramer over and over again with alcohol issues and all that. Dude, the league is littered with players. And I just gave you quarterbacks. I can go through other positions. Okay, I've got it all in here, bro. A ton. They bring you back and they bring you back. And Ray Lewis, bro, where's the cream suit? Where's the cream suit, dude? What happened? Guy was there, part of a murder. What happened? They brought him back. And now he can, he can lead the troops and all that stuff and profess everything. And, what happened, dude? They bring you back no matter what, man. What are we talking about here? Ray Rice beat the crap out of a woman, and they brought him back, and people wanted to bring him back. So what Shedeur Sanders is doing is nothing, bro. What, a speeding ticket? What, making fun and mime or whatever? That's bullshit. The second he plays, dog, and he will play for the Browns because they suck, and if he plays well, there'll be 10 teams lined up ready to sign him. Why? Because he ain't passing bad checks, because he isn't an alcoholic, because he isn't a rapist, because he doesn't do a lot of the other shit that I've seen them accept back. Okay? Because we got a guy, a wide receiver, that brings a hell of a lot more baggage than Shedeur Sanders ever will. So, again, media, you're overblowing it with Shedeur Sanders, my man. It's just a kid, bro. Just a kid doing kid things. Nothing real criminal.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that stance that he's not actually getting himself into real trouble. So obviously, obviously that's great. And you know what? And I'll leave it with this: is I hope exactly what you're saying plays out, because I really enjoyed it when Shedeur had a great preseason game and it was like, oh shit, here he is. He's proving the league wrong. And I hope he bounces back and proves people wrong as far as why he was buried on the depth chart and taken so low. But in this moment, I just don't see him doing himself any favors when he is backup to the backup. And this is how he's behaving in the locker room. Handle yourself like a pro, and then you can expedite that process to get yourself that opportunity. But right now, no one's looking at that and saying, man, yeah, that guy really deserves the chance at this moment. Everyone, all the other teams are looking at it like, you know what? I'm glad I don't have that in my locker room. I'm glad I dodged that bullet. And then the Browns are like, Jesus, Shedeur, like you're seriously pulling this. But I hope he does get that chance, and then he turns it around because I would enjoy seeing that redemption. But in that moment, he is not helping himself.
No, I know, but if all you're going to do is screw me, well, then I'm going to, I personally for myself, I've been in that situation where people are effing with you and then they want you to, come through for them. And I'm the guy that says, no, I'm not doing that, bro. I'm sorry. So I kind of understand where he's battling in all of this. All right, let's get to the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Somebody tells Ocho Cinco that there's no way Tyreek Hill comes back this season. Okay. I don't know what kind of drugs he's working on or anything like that. It might be some really good stuff. And the other thing, let's tell Rosenhaus, yeah, he's not coming back here either. But your thoughts on all of that silliness?
Yeah. I mean, Ocho, I think that was just ridiculous. Obviously, and Mike McDaniel even said his season is over. I think we went through it with probably what was less of an injury. Even, I mean, Achilles is very serious, but Aaron Rodgers was trying to come back that same year. Plus, he plays quarterback, so, I mean, he could be a stationary statue quarterback and try to throw the ball around, but and not have to use his legs that much. Tyreek Hill is very dependent on his legs and his speed. So, no, he's not coming back. This is already early October. He's not coming back in December in two months and change to play.
But,
so,
by the way, he would risk his future. He's better off taking the whole year and off season off so he can be 100% to work out for the next team and be. If he comes back early and pushes it, bro, his career will be over. Actually.
Yeah. So we can cancel that out, cross that off as a possibility. And what was the other one you asked me about? Drew Rosenhaus. He's doing his job. He's his agent. So obviously, you know, he's going to put the most positive outlook on things at this moment. But we won't really know until. No, he's talking from the standpoint of him coming back with the Dolphins. Yeah, he's going to express Tyreek's wishes. Tyreek has said before that he likes being a member of the Dolphins and this and that. Now he's coming off this injury. He was already probably bound to be released before next season. I don't think the Dolphins were going to keep him around by that third day of the league year when then some guarantees kick in. So I feel like the Dolphins were bound to part ways with him at that point, if not earlier. I was looking at the trade deadline this year if the season had already gone awry at that point. So I find it unlikely, but maybe there's the off chance of there's just not that much interest around the league from somewhere else that the Dolphins could get him back very cheap. Like same way Bradley Chubb had his deal restructured. Now that would be the only scenario where I could see, hey, you know what, Dolphins and Tyreek Hill come to a conclusion if you still want to be here, we can take you back on a really cheap restructured deal, maybe with some incentives, and we will bring you back in that case. That's really the only scenario where I could see something still happening for 2026.
Okay, so I know. I'm accused of being Chris Greer's left tackle. Okay, so let's leave that out there. Okay, so okay, great. So now, people bitched about losing Christian Wilkins, and reporters and fans and all that, and so then he blows out his knee or ankle. I forgot which one it was, and he's gone for the year. The Raiders release him, and all of a sudden, Christian Wilkins wasn't a bad move by the Dolphins, right? Overall, right? Okay, so then Rob Hunt, at first I agreed with them. I'm not paying a guard $20 million, but that's what it looked like. They were wrong, and so was I, because obviously he played well. But now suffers a season-ending injury. He's done for the year. So maybe the Dolphins were right on that one, because now it's a player got injured for the whole year.
Not playing Sunday for the Panthers against the Dolphins.
Right, not playing, right? So, and not playing this year. He's done for the year. I mean, it's a torn pec. He's gone. So, okay, so now the new one is, well, they didn't want to pay Jonnu Smith, and he's gone. But now they signed a guy that, personally for me, I'm like, hey, man, watch out. You don't expect much from this guy because he's been very inconsistent. Well, he's only played 1 out of 4 games, so kind of goes with the inconsistency. But in that one game, he has more touchdowns on the season than Jonnu Smith. And Jonnu Smith, by the way, has a total of 71 yards on the season. It's not like he's tearing it up in Pittsburgh. So some of the decisions that were made by the front office are actually looking better now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, it's funny how every time it's the Christian Wilkins thing, obviously in the moment was tough to deal with. Rob Hunt, seeing him become a Pro Bowler last year. But I think the original stance there was, boy, that's a lot to pay a guard. I was with you. Yeah. And now this Darren Waller one is really interesting because, especially on this program, you didn't think he would even play, right? You didn't think he would even. I'm
looking at it like he's not going to be much this season at all. I I don't count on. How would you count on Darren Waller at 33 years old? There's no way. And by the way, he hasn't done anything. It's just one game out of 4. He's only played 1 out of 4 so far. So let's hope he can actually stay on the field. But in one game, he has more touchdowns than Jonnu Smith does, dude.
Yeah, that was a good point you brought up on Twitter. Because especially week 1, you saw Jonnu Smith score a touchdown, and then immediately as the Dolphins were getting their ass beat by the Colts, you're like, boy, look at this. You let go of him. He's already scoring for the Steelers as they win a game, and the Dolphins are getting crushed in Indy. But quick redemption with Darren Waller, first game, 2 touchdowns. So interesting. And now that's a whole nother thing that opponents have to game plan for is, you used to just always play too high shell and take away the speed of Tyreek Hill with Jalen Waddle. Now it's really just it's Jalen Waddle without Tyreek Hill on the outside. Yeah, there's going to be some opportunities for Nick Westbrook-Akine and Malik Washington, but instead of Tyreek Hill, now you're game planning for Darren Waller, a 6'6" tight end, which the Dolphins haven't had anyone like that since Mike Gesicki, and Waller is another level above what Gesicki was in Miami's offense. So and maybe Mike McDaniel is more prone to use him than he did Gesicki back then when they had that year where they coincided. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that develops as far as how the offense changed, how defenses maybe play Miami differently.
Yeah. All right. What are you picking in this game?
Yeah, I do have I haven't been a tough one, but the Dolphins winning 24-23, a tight one going on the road. Carolina in their one home game, they beat the Falcons 30-0. They've lost their 3 road games, so we don't have too much of a sample of them at home, even though they're 1-3. But I think the Dolphins should be a better team, even without Tyreek Hill, and maybe without him, it opens up some new things, has them go into the run game more. It unlocks Malik Washington, and maybe a lot of attention now goes to Darren Waller when he's in, and it opens it up for different guys. And maybe this is the game where they start to stop the run. Maybe.
And no Chuba Hubbard. So
yeah. So Chuba Hubbard, he's out. So maybe this is when they start to stop the run, because that's the big thing. The defense has to stop the ground game.
Well, if Hubbard's out, at least that helps, because he was going to pound the crap out of him. So
Rico Dowdle, he's not bad there because he had a good season last year for Dallas. But obviously the O-line a little banged up too, not having Rob Hunt. His backup is also out, Chandler Zavala. So they're going third string right guard, which I guess the Dolphins are too.
I'm with you. I'm hoping for a ugly win. In other words, just a tight win, but they get a win. I don't think they're not going to blow them out, because their defense is not there. It's just not ready yet, dude. It's just not ready. All right, what else you got going on the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Yeah, I'm going to be previewing this game, I think, with the Jalen Waddle angle of him now being called to be that number 1 wide receiver, which he was drafted to be at one point. Second year in the league, Tyreek Hill comes in, so he's always kind of been relegated. Although the Dolphins say, oh, yeah, we've always viewed him as a number 1, 1A, 1B, whatever, but he's truly been relegated to number 2 with Tyreek Hill. So now it's truly that time where Jalen Waddle is that number 1 receiver. So I think I'm going to take that angle into game day.
That was my question right from the post game. Will Jalen Waddle be Bam Adebayo, or will he be Jimmy Butler?
Yeah.
That's what I want to find out. Yeah, you can still be a hell of a player when you're Bam Adebayo, but you're not Jimmy Butler. And that's what Tyreek Hill was. He was Jimmy Butler. That's what Mark Clayton was. That's what Irving Fryer was. That's what a number 1 is, So let's see if he actually can be a Jimmy Butler type. We're going to find out. All right, follow him on Twitter at DavidFaronis _ and make sure you subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, be safe in your travels. We will catch up on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Great discussion today.
You got it. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. There you go. David Faronis and Welton Rayom. They know how to get it done. If you want to call them, you can call them. The consultation is completely free. 954-966-4646. They handle it all, and a lot of people are dealing with bankruptcy issues right now, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation. personal injury. We are in storm season, so anytime you can have a torrential downpour. If you start seeing any spots on your roof, you may have a leak. Never call the insurance companies. Call Welton Rayom. They will send their adjusters. They will look at the damage. They will see if you have a case, and then they will attack the insurance company. It's a beautiful thing. No headaches for you. And then you just pick up the check at the Hollywood offices. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Right. Thank you all out there as always. Do want to remind you that Acura of Pembroke Pines is a proud sponsor of our program. Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasso, Tony Stampone. There's some great people out there, and we thank Mr. Zinn, of course, for supporting our platform for so long. And right now at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines, it's the happy new model year going on right now. The ADX, $299 a month. You can get 4.9% financing for 60 months. The Integra 2025 model, $299 a month, 3.9% financing. The RDX, my wife drives it every day, $419 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. And, of course, get on down, check out the ZDX. It will blow you away. At 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And go see my man, Larry Schlossberg. They will take care of you, man. Good people out there. Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, and Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines. Remember, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. The Dow is up 359 points. The S&P is up 26. The NASDAQ is up about half a point. Bitcoin is up almost to $121,000. It's at 120,800. So looking to bust out. We'll get to 122 before I'm off. I'll tell you that. Manny Navarro will be joining us any second now. Remember, Manny will join us again on Saturday night after the Canes defeat FSU there at Doak Campbell. Manny will join us on the post-game show. So we will talk a little Canes and FSU on Saturday night, and then on Sunday we've got the pre and post-game show for you here on the platform. All right. Let me see, what else do we have here? Only reason they're talking to Sanders is because he doesn't understand. He just needs to shut up, and he's done to himself. No, I love that he is going after them and not being the good boy. Be the good boy. Be the soldier. You know, take the shit. No, dude. No way. Let's see. Nico says debate is better than agree on everything like O and David usually do. You gotta have some disagreements, bro. You know, you gotta have some disagreements. And it's funny how you look at that situation and you know he's the best quarterback in the group, no matter what, and you're playing these games. It's just, you know. Come on, man. You don't like it that somebody's challenging your system, huh? You know? But I guess when you're the Mannings or Elway, you didn't get that kind of deterrent. When you were challenging the system and not wanting to go somewhere. It's interesting. But that's all right. It's all good. It's all good. I just see through the bullshit, and I'm glad that he's not taking their shit. You know, And like I said, like I pointed out, when he was talking about how the kid's done to himself, the kid's done nothing, dude. He's clowning them. That's all. He's not a murderer. He's not a rapist. He's not beating women. He's not stealing money from people. I'm sorry, I must have missed it. What is Shedeur Sanders doing that's so evil? But let's make him out to be evil. No, the system is evil. And Deion knows about the system. That's why when Deion had his power, he controlled it all. He controlled every narrative. He controlled everything. And he's trying to do it now, but it's a lot harder because his kid isn't nearly as gifted as he was. Those are the realities. So these are the hurdles that they're fighting. But come on, man. Just look at what's going on. None of that makes any sense. So you're hurting your own franchise by not playing the best player. What? Are we serious here? Is this what we're doing? We're gonna draft a guy after we drafted another guy, and we got another guy in Pickett, and we have the old man. Just ask yourself these questions. It just none of it makes any sense. So I'm glad he's doing this to them. And I hope that when he plays, I hope he succeeds so then he can really drive his own narrative. You know, it's good for them to have a little bit of freedom, because that system doesn't allow you to have that freedom. You know, it's anti-freedom. By the way, it figures. Manny just stepped up. We just crossed 121,000. There you go. The Manny Navarro magic is in. And that's why he is the Big Cheese. And this is the BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report.
We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
All right. Remember, Manny will join us post-game right after the Canes beat FSU on Saturday night. So make sure you join us here on the program. And before we get to some of the NIL and recruiting questions, Manny, let's get to a little preview here on FSU and Miami. And, you know, we had our friend Ira Schofel on yesterday, and he's picking FSU, like a slight win. I think Miami will win. I think they will control the line of scrimmage. What I saw last week from Virginia and Miami, from Virginia and FSU, I just saw that Miami was better than both of them at the line of scrimmage, and I think that's where you end up winning in this game. So talk to me a little bit about this matchup. How do you see it? Oh. Nope. Not yet.
Should not be muted now. There we go. I don't know why. All right. Anyway.
By the way, I like fries with that. Please, no mayonnaise. Extra tomatoes on my sandwich.
I got to get a real mic one of these days. Oh, I had one for a while and unfortunately busted on me. So I've had this headset now for the past year and I just been lazy. Haven't gone out and gotten the new mic. So I will at some point. But anyway, I think this is exactly the way you see it. I think Miami is the better team at the line of scrimmage. I think that they should win this game by 2 or 3 scores if they play the way that they're supposed to, right? I think they've got a better defense than Florida State does. I think if Carson Beck plays smart, you know, this should be a game that in the fourth quarter, you're like, man, this is an impressive performance. But again, it's been a long time since Miami's operated that way consistently, right? Every year there always seems to be a game or two, especially under Mario, where it's not supposed to be scary and it ends up being scary, or they end up losing, right? That's usually against bad teams. This Florida State team is actually pretty good. So I think the fact that it's a rivalry game, the fact that it's in Tallahassee, it's the first real road game of the season for Miami where they're having to, get on a plane and go somewhere. It's going to play into all that. So I expect it to be a tight game, but I do expect the Hurricanes to win.
I was telling this to Ira. I got so much respect for Castellanos. The way he plays, he's fearless, all of that. The dude's got balls that don't fit in the stadium. I love that he lays it all out there, and whatever mistake he makes, it doesn't faze him for the next play. I really love his mental makeup. But and it's exactly what when I mentioned this to Ira, he spun it the right way. He goes, there's no doubt that, his strength is also his kryptonite at the same time. And to me, when I watch him, I just think this is a kid that's going to go all out, and he's going to try to, put it in the tightest of windows at times and all that kind of stuff. But by doing that, he's going to give you chances. And that's one of the things I see. And the Miami defense, to its credit, has been an opportunistic one pretty much this year. I think they're going to get opportunities because the Castellanos kid, he's going to make some plays, but he's going to give you opportunities.
Yeah, same number of interceptions going into this game as Carson Beck has. They've both thrown 3 picks through their first 4 games. So the mistake prone is there. Like it'll happen, right? It's not like it never happens, and he protects the football and never makes a mistake. So, and look, Miami has faced Castellanos before. There are guys on this team who faced him 2 years ago when Miami went up to Boston College and won up there. So it's not like he's completely foreign to some of the dudes on this defense. They've seen him before. Ruben Bain has faced him. Akeem Mesidor was out there for that game as well. So they know what he's like. And certainly Corey Heatherman has done, I think, a phenomenal job so far handling running offenses. Outside of that one drive after, Florida came out in the second half and basically drove it down the field and scored a touchdown. Nobody, even Notre Dame wasn't able really to run the football. When teams have had success against Miami this year, Byron Brown, who's a mobile quarterback, I think he had 2 yards on 13 carries against Miami. When teams have had success this year, it's been sort of on broken plays, which is what Castellanos' specialty is, essentially. He is a guy who is going to be elusive, and when the defense collapses and tries to stop him, he finds an open receiver and throws it right over the top. So, to me, this game is going to be about the safeties and whether guys like Jacoby Thomas, guys like Zachariah Poyser play disciplined. Do they come up and try to make a play, or do they trust their linebackers and guys to stay in their gap assignments? Look, Gus Malzahn is a really good offensive coach, brother. He's done it in multiple places. He's beaten Alabama at its peak many, many times when he was at Auburn. He knows how to come up with a good game plan, and I'm sure he's going to have a good game plan. But this Miami defense at the point of attack is really, really good. One of the best defensive lines they've had in years. And I think if those guys do their job, Miami's going to win this game.
All right, so Miami now obviously off to a hot start, number 3 in the country. One of the things you and I have been talking about for the last couple of years is that once Mario adds the big wins and the impactful wins, which is what he's doing, and he'll add another one this weekend if he does that, how is that affecting recruiting?
Well, that's really the story here, because we talked about it a lot on your show. He's done a good job going and getting offensive and defensive linemen, right, over the last few years in his first 4 years as the coach here. His recruiting class, he had a number 7 recruiting class, he had a number 4 recruiting class. But last year they kind of took a step back and they finished, I think, 12th or 13th or whatever. This year, right now, they're number 12. Where the progress is being made, I think, is in the 2027 class. There are a lot of 5-star guys that are going to be elite players in the 2027 class that have already been down here in South Florida for multiple games this season. Okay, they were here for Notre Dame. They were here for Florida. They've gotten the attention because they've been on the national stage and won those big matchups. They win this weekend, it's another one of those, hey, we played on prime time. We were the game that everybody in the country was watching 7:30 at night on Saturday. we just won that one. But there's a lot of good players. DJ Jacobs, a 6'5", 225-pound edge rusher out of Georgia. He's come here twice now for those games. Okay, he's considered the best edge rusher in the country in the next class. Right here at St. Thomas Aquinas High School, Mark Matthews. He's the top offensive lineman in the class. He's been there for the Notre Dame and Florida game. He loves Miami. He sees what Mario was preaching, right, years ago when they first started recruiting him. Hey, we're going to have the best offensive line in the country. He sees that it's real. It's not just words. Monsoon Sales, one of the best wide receivers in the 2027 class, a kid out of Indianapolis. He was down here for the Florida game. Watched the Hurricanes win that game, seen the improvements overall with the passing game the last 2 years. So proof of concept, right? And that's the biggest thing. And when you get in on these guys, the reality is all of these elite dudes, they're really making decisions now as juniors. They're really like, hey, this is the NIL figure I want. This is the team I really want to play for. This is the impact time. And so it's just the way recruiting is. And to me, I think the 27 class, the way it's shaping up, is that could be Mario's best class. And it all depends on how this team finishes this year. But so far, there's proof of concept. These kids are coming. They're seeing that this is for real and it's not a joke. And Miami's a legitimate national title contender.
All right. Anybody going to Tallahassee to see the Canes or somebody they can flip?
Yeah, well, look, there's always guys that they're going to be trying to flip in the 2026 class, and that's going to come down to December and money and those kind of type of conversations. But there are some amazing players in state, right here in South Florida and in Jacksonville and other parts of the state that are going to be going to FSU for this game. One of them is Bryson Wright, who is the #1 wide receiver in the 2028 class. I don't know if you saw this guy, but he's played a lot in that 7-on-7. He plays for the Miami Raw team. He looks like the best. He looks like another Jeremiah Smith to me is what he looks like. He looks like another one of those special talents, and he is going to be up in Tallahassee for that game. He's been to Miami several times, but again, another one of these kids you start the relationship with, you show them repeatedly that you're a legitimate program. You're going to have a chance to land them. And then another one is Amari Sears, a kid out of West Broward High School, who is a beast, probably the best cornerback in the class. He also plays on that Miami Raw team as well, the 7-on-7 team over the summer. He's going up to Tallahassee for that game as well. So, I've told you many, many times, Mario's done a phenomenal job recruiting, but when you start winning in your own backyard for the 5-star kids, I'm not talking about the 4 stars, but the 5-star, the best at their position, that's when you know he's really got this thing humming where it needs to be.
Yeah, all he has to do is finish this year strong and get to the ACC championship game. And if he wins the ACC championship game and has a run in the playoffs, they're going to be. He'll have to turn people down, which will be a beautiful thing, And that's what you want to get to. You want to get to the point where you don't have enough scholarships, you know what I mean, and you get the pick of the litter. That's going to be pretty cool,
Yeah,
so,
and. Look, it's been a process, and people are like, well, why hasn't this happened sooner? Why aren't they winning these recruiting battles now? And it's like, I keep trying to tell you, like the first 2 years, you can get a bunch of kids to jump on, right? Which is why they had the #4 and the #7 classes. When you get to year 3, year 4, if you're not winning by then, you don't have the proof of concept. Now it's starting. Now that Miami's #3 in the country and they see the dominance on both lines of the scrimmage, now it's real.
He inherited dog shit.
There's no question.
He inherited a team that wasn't big enough and athletic enough and talented enough.
The draft streak almost ended. The draft streak almost ended the year he took over.
Yeah, and the character on those kids were weak. It was an entitlement that was going on. Now these kids, you can tell they want to work to actually make their own legacy. And we were getting kids the last 20 years that wanted to live off the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
These kids, the Mezzadors of the world, they're looking to make their own legacy, bro. That's what I like. That's what I
like. And you know what I think is really key for this team. I think 11 out of the 18 transfers that they took are starting for them. There's not a lot of teams hitting at that high of a percentage where the guys that they go out, because let's face it, the transfer portal, there's a lot of garbage that goes in the transfer portal. A lot of guys that are not very good, that aren't going to be a fit. And they found 11 guys who were a really good fit for them that are starters. And it's important to bat with that kind of a batting average in the transfer portal. If you're 11 for 18 at the plate, You're one of the best hitters in baseball, and right now they're hitting at a high percentage for sure.
Yep, no doubt about that. And by the way, props to you because we crossed 21,000 at the beginning of the interview, but now
that's what I bring.
Won almost 400 now. So, props to you, my brother. You are pumping the market there once again.
Yeah.
Once again. All right, what
That's
do you
what I
got
do
going?
for you, brother?
Thank you, my man. Thank you for making us a couple bucks. What do you got on the Athletic there so people can check you out?
Yeah, I have my oddly specific predictions that came out yesterday, where I make all my picks for the week. I will be watching tomorrow night's game here from home. Unfortunately, I got some family stuff to take care of, so I couldn't make the trip to Tallahassee this year, which is rare for me. I've been at every single one of these games now for the last 20 years, so it's hurting me not to be there.
Field after every game the last couple of years.
Yes, but I had some stuff to take care of here at home, and I promised my wife I would stay home this weekend to help out. So I'll be watching, but I will be tuning back in with you right after the game is over to give you my thoughts, and I'm sure I'll be writing a column, win or lose, for Miami. Although I think they're going to win and be 5-0.
Family first, always, my brother. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro, and make sure you subscribe to The Athletic. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you immensely.
Anytime, man. Talk soon.
There you go. We're up to 457 now. It's that Manny Navarro magic. 121, 467, 478. We just pumping, baby. We just pumping. Big Cheese, by the way. Go to BigCheeseMiami.com. Go see Gary, all the great people out there, man. They're gonna love you. And Gary and Billy started this over 40 years ago, and it is an institution now. 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. The walls are filled with Hurricanes memories and autographs and pictures and accomplishments from the last 40 years. Go check it out. Just to visit that, just to go there for that is worth it. The garlic rolls, the pasta, the spaghetti, the lasagna, the baked ziti, whatever it is that you're in the mood for. Oh, that is icing on the cake. And, of course, the service is second to none. Go see the great people at BigCheeseMiami.com.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
All right. It's happening again. We did the 120 yesterday, right, on the show. Are we going to cross 122 now? Because it is pumping, bro. It is a pumping right now. I like it. 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 Anyway, so Dolphins-wise, got a couple things I want to talk about. First of all, did you guys catch Mac Jones yesterday leading the Niners to a victory? I told you Shanahan has got Coach of the Year right now in my book. To overcome all those injuries and be 4-1, that's some coaching, bro. That's some coaching. But I don't know if you guys saw Mac Jones yesterday. But Mac was looking kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys caught it, if you saw it. But Mac Jones, this is how he arrived to the game yesterday. Yep. But that. I had no idea that Mac Jones was a Lady Gaga dance extra. Right? I mean, I could see him, abracadabra, doing all the dancing right next to Gaga. Luckily, he performed well, but I'm not sure what he was thinking with that suit. Don't know. I mean, you know, if he's a little monster, then it's all right. But wow, I had no idea that Mac Jones was a Lady Gaga dancer. Zero clue. You could have fooled me. I would have never figured that shit out. That's pretty strong on his part, I got to say. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. What do we have here on the chat board? Looks like a lot of stuff going back and forth. Let's see. You seriously going to put Sanders in the Manning Elway class? That Sanders Kosa, you didn't understand what I was talking about. You got to understand what I'm talking about. I'm not comparing the talents at all. I'm just comparing that it's interesting how when two families tried to, challenge the order, it wasn't received nicely, but eventually it worked out, whereas when the Sanders family is trying to challenge it, it's kind of backfired a lot worse. That's all. Not comparing the talents. I'm just comparing the situations because they're all challenging the system. Lenny Pena says, I'm so glad UM got rid of that damn turnover change. Oh, dude, I was all for getting rid of that stupid shit. And by the way, I was a bad guy for that. I didn't like the turnover chain. I thought it was a clown ass thing. They would bring it out when they were losing and all that. I was like, bro, this is stupid. This is garbage. This doesn't instill winning. Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah. Player celebration with that prop after a turnover was kind of cringy. Mario Cristobal's got him on the right track. Yeah, he eliminated that stupid shit because he was with a team that celebrated the wins and didn't need a turnover chain. Silly ass stuff. I got the Gators this weekend for the upset, says Joseph. John Pettis. Thank you, sir. Pat in Asheville. He's a Batman villain. Mac Two-Face Jones. I like that. But I don't know, bro. I just can see him in the Lady Gaga Abracadabra video. That's what it looks like to me. All right, you guys know that I cut through the bullshit on this show. And I'm not big on the BS. And I don't like BSing you all. Okay? Maybe I'll get something wrong, but it's not because I'm trying to BS you. And Chris Olave is a guy that's being talked about because his team is having a bad year and they could end up trading him and all that. And so Miami loses Tyreek Hill and PFNS 305, whatever. What is that? Pro Football Network, whatever. Is that what that is? PFN, whatever, I guess. I don't know, whatever it is. Some site puts out there, and then you got all these Dolphin sites reaggregating it. You got local beat writers also using it because, it's just to get more clicks and stir shit up and all that kind of stuff. And nobody ever learns. I know that you all here on this show have been educated for months now, that I have shown you there is no urgency. They're not trying to win. They're not doing anything that they're trying to win. Everything that they do is through low money or no money and definitely no picks or nothing like that. So for Olave, you're going to have to trade. You're going to have to give up and a salary down the line. You think the Dolphins are going to do that? And whatever South Florida ties he may have or what, none of it. It's like all off season, all the way till now, they have proven to you that they are doing nothing of the sort of spending picks or money or anything like that. They're not mortgaging a damn thing. So I don't know how many examples have I shown you guys throughout the offseason and into the regular season? A ton, right? And every time I've told you none of this will ever happen, it does not happen. Got to stop, man. And Dolphins, you got to get smarter. You got to understand these people are just baiting you because this is what they do. They're not willing to be honest with you because honesty is boring. Honesty doesn't get you the clicks, doesn't get you the amount of views because a lot of people don't want to hear honesty. They want to hear the fantasy of acquiring Robinson or Olave or whoever disgruntled player to replace anything that you may need. Whatever tackle becomes available, whatever receiver becomes available, whatever quarterback becomes available, and none of them are coming here because they're not trading for anybody and they're not signing any big free agents. And yet I see this story and it's like some don't learn. I know the people on this show that follow the show constantly learn because I have shown you the examples over and over again. Crazy shit. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I mentioned it a little bit with David Furones. As you all know, I am Chris Greer's left tackle, right? I mean, that's what I've been labeled. Now, if I'm Chris Greer's left tackle, I was against bringing Hunt back because of the $20 million. And they didn't bring him back. But then I admitted that I was wrong. And now, look, the injury happens. So Chris Greer was right. On the Wilkins front, I told you they were never going to sign him. A lot of people wanted to sign him, but I didn't agree with them to not sign him because I agree with them because I'm their left tackle or anything. It's because I think he wasn't worth the money. And now he got injured. The Jonnu Smith one. Well, Jonnu Smith is gone now. And here's the funny part. That I explained to you what they were doing on the Jonnu Smith thing, right? But I wasn't a big Darren Waller guy. To me, it's kind of like, yeah, whatever, bro. If he does something, great. But I don't expect shit from Waller because how would you expect anything? Now, so far, he has done it well in one game, but really he's only played 1 out of 4. So he has, failed in that sense. Kind of like what I expected, that he would be injured and would fail and all that other stuff. But in the one game, it's better than everything that Jonnu Smith has done so far this season. So I wasn't the biggest Waller guy or anything. If I'm a Chris Greer guy, I would have been all over. Oh, there's a great signing or whatever. And I wasn't. And one game only, but I guess it's working out. They do say hindsight is 20/20. And in those 3 situations, so far, they got it right. Forget about the left tackle. Forget about what you think. Forget about what anybody else is right. The bottom line is, in those 3 situations, they got it right. It's crazy, but they got it right. No matter what. Insanity, dude. When I noticed that Waller already has more touchdowns than Jonnu Smith. Wow. Insane. I would have never imagined that, by the way. Would have never imagined that. Never imagined that. We're at 21,781 right now. So let's see if we get to 22,000 here before we get off the air. What else do we have here? And again, on the Shedeur Sanders front, just so I can speak my piece, because I did it with Furones, but on my own here. To me, there's some rotten in Denmark. And it's super obvious when the kid is better than everybody that you have on the roster at quarterback, and you refuse to play him. The fact that you had him, what was he, 5th on the roster? 4th on the roster, okay, because Watson was the 5th guy and he wasn't coming back. But the fact that you had him behind Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel, come on, dude. Are you kidding me? So I'm glad that he continues to punk this situation. But make no mistake that the people that are to blame here are the Browns and the media. And the media is getting suckered into it. Notice how with Furones, he goes, oh, he's burying himself. He's doing all these things. And then I started to give him a history of real things that went on in the NFL, including on that team right there that they signed a rapist, an alleged rapist. I think that's way worse than Sanders. Way worse, right? Slightly, right? I saw Art Schlichter do all kinds of dirty shit. They brought him back over and over again. Saw Ray Rice do dirty shit. They wanted to bring him back, and then they got busted. I saw Ray Lewis being involved in a double murder, and they kept that one quiet. Where's the jacket, Ray? Tommy Kramer had all kinds of alcohol issues. They constantly kept bringing him back. These are things that young reporters like Furones, they're not going to know the history of the league like I do, because they're not old and they haven't lived it like I have. It's not something that you could, as a young person, you can go and study about it, but it's hard to study about it. It's a lot easier when you've actually lived it and watched it and seen it all. So what Sanders has done is nothing. He's done nothing. He's done stupid little kiddie things. He's not a criminal. We have lots of criminals in the league. Like people that do like really bad shit. And they give them chances over and over and over again. And to bury this kid the way they have, it's only because the old man is challenging the system. That's all this is. That's all that's going on here. It's all politics. We're not, and you got a football team in the Browns. I want you to think about this. You got a football team in the Browns that is playing a game with a quarterback that is the best quarterback on your team, and you refuse to play him. As the Mad Dog would say, rest in peace, sir, I put it through my nosy, and it don't smell so rosy. So I am glad that he continues to make a mockery of all of this. And I'm talking about Shedeur. And I'm glad that he keeps punking these people. And I'm glad he did what he did. Because I know what they're doing to him. Okay? And maybe he can't play. And maybe he can. But I know this. I'd take him over Dylan Gabriel. I'd take him over Kenny Pickett. And the old man, come on, dude. You're not going anywhere with the old man. I can understand starting him for a couple games and then going to Shedeur. What I don't understand is you doing everything else in front of Shedeur. That tells me, come on, man. And if I'm a Browns fan, I am disgusted with all of this. Because, like, you're keeping the best quarterback down. How does that make any sense? You know? How does that make any sense? Well, I like living up to promises, you know. So let's live up to promises here. Give me 122. I want a 122. Give me a 122. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. And we need 122. What are we doing here? Let's go. Pop it. Pop it. What else do we have here? Hey, Sean, can you pull up my CJ Stroud post from Twitter yesterday? Please. Do me that favor, sir. I want to show folks something here. I know we're going to show you 122 pretty soon because I told you we're going to hit 122 during the show, and we're going to hit it. We're going to hit it. We're not quitting it, but we're going to hit it. Here we go. Let's go. Let's get it over. Let's move it to 900 now. Get a little closer. 819. Come on. Come on. 824. Here we go. This is it right here. This is it right here. It's a beautiful thing watching this. It's a beautiful thing to watch this. This is the charge that we've got going on. Oh, back to 799. What are you doing to me? Tell me when you got it so we can explain it. Let me put this on the side, and I'll keep up with it here, and we'll see if we get to 122, which is going to happen. It's going to happen any second now. So CJ Stroud, he click the picture so people can see the picture because this is funny. It's like hilarious, actually. CJ Stroud says that he's gotten old and that he's lost some speed. See, I feel like I'm getting old. I'm not as quick as I used to be. CJ Stroud is 23 years old. Usain Bolt won his last gold medal at the age of 29. So he was still flying like the wind at 29. He wasn't peaking at 23. Okay? I mean, what are we doing here? What kind of a soft-ass dude is this CJ Stroud? My God, he's slowing down and not that quick at 23. What's he going to be on crutches at 26? In a wheelchair at 30? What are we doing here? 23, my man feels like he's old and slow. Seriously? I kind of like my athletes to think that they're getting better and better at 23. Even faster, by the way, because you can get faster and better at 23 to 24 and 25 and 26. Maybe not at 36, but in your 20s, my Lord, how are you old? This is what we're dealing with now. All right, you can kill it, Sean. I mean, seriously. CJ Stroud, really? Seriously, dude? You're too old now? You're slow at 23. 23. I'm telling you, bro, millennials and Gen Zers and some of you, man, it is a soft-ass generation. Promises made, promises kept. $122. Promises made, promises kept. It's not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor by any stretch. Just because I told you about Bitcoin when it was at 22,000 and now it's at 122,000, it's not financial advice. Okay? So, don't take I don't know anything. I only told you when it was at 22,000 to buy and buy and buy as much as you can, and now it's at 122,000. So I'm not a financial advisor. I may be smarter than your financial advisor, but I am not a financial advisor. Okay? Just want you to know that. It's not financial advice. It's better financial advice than your financial advisor, but it's not financial advice. That's all I got to say. Just want to throw that out there. Make sure you guys understand. It's not financial advice. Even though it's advice way smarter than you'll get from any of your financial advisors. What else do we have here going on the chat board? I bet Gabriel didn't beat out Shedeur in training camp, but they still decided to bury him in the depth chart out of spite. Come on. Bro, they put him behind Kenny Pickett, too. This guy, come on. How are you a football team that doesn't play their best player? And then they feed bullshit out there, and then media and fans buy into, oh, he's not that good and all that. Bullshit, dude. He's pretty damn good. He's one of the best quarterbacks in college football. He deserves an opportunity to see if he can play at this level. I don't want to hear this shit, dude. When he did play, he played well. Let him play. But go ahead, keep playing whatever game they're playing out there. You go ahead and play that game. I don't know what game this is. I've never heard of this game in my life where, hey, screw it. We're not going to play the best player. We're going to purposely try to bury him. It's weird. What else do we have? Jeff in Long Island. I'm 57, old and slow. Yeah, but you've got an excuse. So do I. He's 23. At 23, I could take on the world, bro. My man is done at 23 already. He feels old. He's slowed down. That's some soft ass shit, dude. I have a bottle of Tylenol older than Stroud. You sound like my wife. It's expired. Oh, honey, don't worry. It's only 5 years expired. Medicine, it's all good. Roy Sosa says, I have nose hairs older than Stroud. Brett says, I have corns on my feet older than Stroud. Stephen Harris says, my Game Boy is older than Stroud, and it probably moves better, too. Can you imagine that you're a fan of the Texans and your 23-year-old quarterback says he's old? I think it's time to get rid of him already. He's old. Maybe they should lower the Social Security age to 23. I like that one. That's the best one, Eddie. I like that one. Think Blue Dodger says if McShit for Brains was a financial advisor, he would have told you to sell your Bitcoin 2 years ago. Yeah, no, he would have been with the Germans. Those idiots sold their Bitcoin a couple of years ago. Morons. Telling you, man. It's just like I understand when average people don't believe in Bitcoin and they're afraid and all, and that's normal. It's normal intimidation by all of you out there. I don't understand people with a really high level education and that they're supposed to be part of either businesses or running, financial areas of countries and things like that. And, now, I know that there's also ulterior motives. People that are tied to banks and money, they don't want you to get Bitcoin because they know that the money is the scam and the Bitcoin is the real thing. It's the funny part about the idiots that I used to get off. Oh, Bitcoin's a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. No, you moron. The dollar is the Ponzi scheme, you idiot. Oh, man. Too funny, bro. Too funny. You can't put Sanders over Gabriel because they selected Gabriel first and Sanders. Playing Sanders makes the GM look stupid for picking Gabriel that high. It's the Cleveland Browns. They look stupid anyways, Frankie. They gave an alleged rapist a guaranteed $250 million contract. They're already king-size stupid. They drafted Johnny Manziel. They're already king-size stupid. They're the Cleveland Browns. So only the Cleveland Browns would draft Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders, and only the Cleveland Browns would be stupid enough to play Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders. In fact, they're so stupid, they would draft Sanders and still put him behind Kenny Pickett also on top of all of that. I'm telling you, you can't measure the level of stupidity of the Browns. They already look stupid, and they are the worst franchise in the NFL by far. My Tory Wilson Playboy is as old as CJ Stroud. A little too much information there. Blockbuster is older than CJ Stroud. Mike Lehman says, how do you feel about physical silver? Oh, I've been buying it since it was 20 and it just cracked 48. I don't have a problem with silver. I think silver is fine, dude. Now, is it better than Bitcoin? No, it's not even close. I would rather have Bitcoin because it's mobile. I can move it around. It's, and I don't have to carry it or anything. I don't have to pay anybody to protect it and all that kind of stuff. So I'd rather have Bitcoin over silver, but silver and gold is fine, dude. I have no problem with silver and gold. They're not bad investments. Bad investments is money. That's bad investments. Okay? Bad investments will be stocks soon enough, outside of the big seven. Yeah. And we're going to have some issues with real estate coming too. So, Bitcoin, I don't think anything touches Bitcoin. Nothing grows like Bitcoin, not silver, not gold, not real estate, nothing. Nothing grows like Bitcoin. And the finite nature of it, you will be able to continue to mine more silver and more gold till the end of time. So you will add to the total of silver and gold, which hurts because that's an inflationary mechanism to it because there'll be more and more and more of it. Whereas with Bitcoin, there's only 21 million. It's over. It's done. There will be no more. So that's where one is better than the other. Plus, it's more divisible. You can make it liquid a lot better. You can't just break off pieces of silver or gold. Oh, I need to go buy this. Here's a little piece. Here's a little piece. You can't do that. And if you're going to go carry a bunch of silver and gold and, shit has hit the fan, they could hold you up and take all your silver and gold. Whereas it's in your passwords are in your mind and nobody can touch it. You know what I'm saying? So it's good, but I would still go to Bitcoin over gold and silver for sure. What else? And the Browns do look dumb selecting 2 QBs in the draft, especially when you're going to do what you're going to do to the second one. It just makes you look really stupid. Ray Grullon, Big O, it's hilarious when the local reporters retweet the Olave story from that site that's full of mierda. Picture the reporter's mind. Oh, wow, good click story on low clicks. Yes, exactly. I'm low on clicks, so yes, exactly. That's all it is. It's all it is. And everybody reaggregating it keeps the PFN tag to it, so that way they clear themselves from it. Oh, they're reporting that, hey, Dolphin fans, they're reporting that Chris Olave. And nobody is willing, like I retweeted it, but I retweeted it to tell people this is a complete bullshit story. None of the local reporters did that. Why? Because why kill it? I know I'm going to keep it alive. I'll get more clicks. If I kill it, then people look, oh, wow, okay, well, oh, that's O being negative. No, that's O being just honest and telling you that Chris Olave is not coming here. Like Robinson from Washington. Let's go trade for him. And, all the other ones that they've been saying for months now. Let's go trade for this, that. And then I come in and say, yeah, that's not happening. Exactly, Ray. Exactly. It's just more bullshit to feed you. And that's wrong, bro. The right thing is what I did. Kill it. Yo, this is not happening. Okay? Dolphins aren't doing this. They're not trying to win at all year, all offseason. It's been proven over and over again. They have done no moves that prove they're trying to desperately win this year at all. So why would they bring Chris Olave in now? It's just the stupid shit that they come up with. They're already tied to one receiver. They're not going to tie to themselves to another big salary right now. They've got issues in other places where they got to move the money, and that's what they're trying to do now. Just like You'll see people looking into the fact that Chop isn't playing nearly as much as the other two guys. Well, hold on a second. Chop suffered an injury, so it kind of limited him. Plus, you've got to showcase Phillips and Chubb for two reasons. One, Chubb, you need to try to trade him by the deadline if you can get something for him, since you couldn't do it with Tyreek. Now, Chubb's the next one, so you need to play him, and he's playing well. And then Phillips needs to play because you need to find out by the end of the year if you're going to pay him and extend him and give him a year contract at least or something. So it's actually a good thing to have Chubb and Phillips playing. Chubb and Phillips playing. But instead, let's make the Chop is not playing as much. Let's make that a story. No, it's not really a story. It's just there's three guys. You got to limit. One guy got banged up a little bit, so that limited his reps. Plus, the other two guys, you have an agenda with each, and they're veterans, and they're established, and they're more proven. So there's a reason why the third guy, the rookie, will get a little bit less. But let's not look into it like there's any ulterior motive. No, let's look at it to what it really is. It's not anything on Chop. It's that there's some other issues in front of him, and that's what they need to solve here. They're not trying to win. They're trying to showcase. They're trying to find out about one guy for the future and trade the other guy. Can we just be honest with people? Instead, we spin shit to try to make it a story so we can get you intrigued and stuff. And it's just wrong, bro. Just wrong. Just wrong. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, we're at 122,812 now. Okay. We're looking at 123 now. 124 is the record, right? So we could be headed for a record day here. Let's see. Could be a record day here. Let's see. We could be going to 123 right now. Right now. Could be going to 123. I like it. I like it. By the way, Sean was showing you their little Sloman's, and we love our friends at Sloman's Home Shield. On Saturday night, we will have our Sloman's key decision of the game in the Hurricanes game and in the Dolphins game. We're going to find out what is the Sloman's key decision of the game. So that will be played over the weekend. And the question for you is, when are you going to make the key decision? And reach out to our friends at 866-756-6467, 1-800-ALARM-ME, and ask them for ShieldLink. You're going to love ShieldLink. Professional-grade security monitoring with cutting-edge smart home automation. Homeowners can actually lock the doors, adjust the thermostat, switch lights on or off, view the live camera feeds, and even create automated routines from a single dashboard. Can you imagine your kid leaves the house, forgets to lock the door, you're seeing it on the camera, everything, and you're getting a warning that the door wasn't locked, and you can then lock it right away. That's pretty cool. Okay, you're headed home and you ordered some food. Somebody arrives, they ring the doorbell. You can, hey, do me a favor, can you just leave the food there? Thank you very much. Have a great day. Boom, boom, boom. And you get there and the food's there. Or it's a hot ass day. And you forgot to call Cutter's Edge Pro and line up your house with all kinds of landscape to keep it cool, but the house is super hot right now. So you grab your ShieldLink and you turn on the AC. And then when you get home, it's a cool home. If you don't have ShieldLink, then you can't turn on the AC. You get home and it's a hot-ass home. You don't want to do that, folks. 24/7 access. Sloman experts are there to help you. All-in-one control where you can manage security, climate, everything, advanced protection, and by the way, rapid response from the folks at Sloman's. Sean will tell you, I can tell you, the second that alarm rings, boy, they are on top of it. Personalized automation, and the best is peace of mind, because there's nothing better than peace of mind. So reach out to our friends, 1-800-ALARM-ME, 1-866-756-6467, and ask for ShieldLink and tell them that Big O sent you. We're in 14 different states, so we could be in a state close to you. All right. Man, we're at 122,881 right now. This thing is pumping. It's a pump-a-lumping. Did you guys catch Ocho Cinco with Shay Shay? I don't want to play the audio because I'm sure they'll tag us from the Shay Shay show and all that kind of crap. YouTube will tag us, so I don't need it. But if you caught the video, if it's floating around, all that, Ocho's talking about that Tyreek can possibly, return this year and all. He's not returning this year. Okay. Let me throw cold water and let me give you the honesty, since again, we got people that just want to lie to people and string them along and bullshit them. His injury was a major surgery. The best thing that Tyreek does is take the rest of the year off and rehab the entire offseason so he can get as close to possible to 100% so he can work out for his future team. The dumbest thing would be is, by the way, Chad Ochocinco is such a moron. Return to what? To play with the Dolphins. For what, moron? For what? The Dolphins aren't going to be in the playoffs. He's going to return to play for a losing team and risk further injury. The things that people say without thinking, without using any logic or intelligence. And listen, Chad Ochocinco is really a nice guy. Okay? He's a nice guy, but he's a silly dude. Okay? Let's just be honest. Nice guy, silly dude. That's all. So don't fall for the silliness and the stupidity and the clickbait shit. He's done for the year. He's not coming back. And this is a losing franchise this year. They're not going anywhere. So why would Tyreek hurry up and rehab to try to get back towards the end of the season? For what? At this point, Tyreek Hill has to take care of Tyreek Hill. And the best way to take care of Tyreek Hill is to stay off the field, rehab, and get to 100%. He's not coming back to the Miami Dolphins. They will release him in the offseason when the season is over, right before the league year starts, because they will not want any of that money for the following season that will be then guaranteed. So they're not going to guarantee it. They will let him go. Drew Rosenhaus can say all the right things that he wants to return and all that, and that's the normal bullshit that an agent says. They were going to get rid of him. They were going to get rid of him at the trading deadline. Okay? And, by the way, let's also not forget, this is the guy that said he wanted out. And he was done. And the only reason he's here, it's because the Dolphins can't get rid of him. So let's cut through the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So if you watch the Ochocinco video, don't listen to a silly man that knows nothing about this. Just because he played, he doesn't really understand what's going on. He's just doing shit to be a clown and to get clickbait. That's all. He doesn't think big picture. And now we go to more of what I love. The team that never lets me down. 123,298. We're headed to a record today. We're going to record, baby. Record. Woo! Life is good. By the way, you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum Chainlink or Solana donation, or you can make a donation here on the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Appreciate it. Thank you all out there. And get on that bandwagon. Telling you. It's not, and don't be like my man Ira Schofel yesterday. Oh, I feel like it's too late. No, dude, it's going to 10x from here. By 2030, you will 10x. You're not too early. You're still not too early. Not that it's financial advice, remember. I am not a financial advisor by any stretch. Let's see. Don't know what's worse. Local reporters retweeting the story or the ones that keep on saying the Marlins are building it. Right? Like, seriously? That's the latest one. What promising future are they building, dude? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sean, did they spend any money? I must have missed it. Did they spend any money? No? Okay. So we're assuming that all these young guys are going to come back and they're going to play as well or better than they did this year. That's what they're selling to you. And that's stupid that you're going to buy it. It's so true, dude. I'm so glad you brought that up. Like, how gullible are people? They did nothing. They brought a bunch of young kids and they overachieved. Big deal, dude. Who cares? They got on a couple of streaks and that's it. That doesn't mean there's anything concrete to any of this. They're still trading Sandy and they'll still trade anybody else that shines and they'll go trade them for more draft picks. They're not spending any money. 60% of the tax teams made the playoffs. They're not going to stop. That's just the way it is. And it's not like you're going to win anything if you surprise and sneak into the playoffs. Give me a break already. Enough already with that. Come on, dude. Just, wow. Like, they screw you over and over and over and over again, and yet you still continue to fall for the same shit. Truly amazing. It really is truly amazing how gullible people can be with the Marlins. Yeah, they're building some. They're not building anything. Wow. I don't know how. I just don't really understand it. I don't. All right, let me go to music here. We love getting our music in. So let's start off with musicians born on this date. All right, let's go. A$AP Rocky, Rihanna's husband. There we go. Celebrating a birthday today, born in 1988. Let's see what else. Ashley Simpson, the younger sister of Jessica Simpson, born in 1984. Let's see who else. Kevin Richardson from the Backstreet Boys, born in 1971. Gwen Stefani, No Doubt, and also solo singing, born in 1969. I can do without her solo stuff, but I love No Doubt. That music is good. I like that. Her solo stuff, whatever. Tommy Lee, founding member of Motley Crue and the drummer, born in 1962. Gail Greenwood, bassist from Belly. Feed the Tree, baby. Stevie Ray Vaughan, one of the greatest guitarists of all time. Musician, singer, songwriter, guitarist, rest in peace. Just one of the greatest guitarists of all time. Man, we lost him in 1990 on August 27th. Terrible helicopter crash. Lindsey Buckingham, one of the most underrated guitarists in the history of rock. Every time he leaves the band, they need to replace him with two guitarists. One person cannot play the Lindsey Buckingham role. Okay? And just because he plays for Fleetwood Mac, don't let anybody fool you. This is one of the greatest guitarists of all time. All time. All time. And picks with fingers. Which, just crazy shit, dude. If you ever get to see him jam, that You will respect him in a completely different way. Just a phenomenal musician, dude. God. Ben Cowley, vocalist and one of the founding members of the Bar-Kays. I like it. Let's see who else. And born in 47, by the way, just in case. Chubby Checker, born Ernest Evans. Come on, baby. Let's do the twist. Born in 41 for him. Eddie Cochran, Summertime Blues. Born in 1938. And that is musicians born on this date. Now let's go with famous folk born on this date. By the way, have we hit 124,000 yet? No, it's 123,153. All right, let's go with birthdays today. For other famous people, Gore Vidal, the writer, born in 1925. Hockey Hall of Famer Glenn Hall, born in 1931. He is 94 today. Chubby Checker, by the way, is still with us, 84. I don't know if I mentioned that. Musician Chemo, born in 51. He's 74. Civil rights leader Al Sharpton, born in 54. He's 71. Freddie Boom Boom Couples, Hall of Famer, born in 59. He's 66. Actor, musician Jack Wagner. What was that song? Because Jack Wagner was the soap guy. And then he did a song because Rick Springfield started something and he became a star. And so then Jack Wagner thought he could become a singer. And he did have one hit. And I'm trying to remember the hit. God. Oh, man. What was the Jack Wagner song? Really cheesy song. But I remember it. I do remember it. And the ladies loved Jack Wagner back in the day. Actor Clive Owen, born in 64. He's 61. Musician Black Thought from Roots, born in 71. He's 54 today. Neve Campbell, born in 73. She's 52 today. She's in some of the hotter movies out there, especially in the 80s. Let's see who else. Musician Josh Klinghoffer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, born in 79. He's 46. Actress Tessa Thompson, born in 83. She's 42. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir, I do. And that song was All I Need.
All I Need. Yes, that's it. That's it. All I Need. That's it. Yes.
You get the wrestling.
Trying to remember the words and all that without like bringing up the damn song itself, but go ahead.
All right, we start the pro wrestling birthdays with Bullet Bob Armstrong, was born on this date in 1939. Crystal White turns 44. Danny Basham is 48. John Morrison turns 46. Julius Creed of the Creed brothers is 31. Max Payne is 64, and TK O'Ryan turns 36 on October 3rd, 2025.
Yeah, there it is. All I need is just a little more time to be sure. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, that's it. That's the one, All I Need. Cheesy ass song from Jack Wagner. But the ladies love him. Ladies love themselves some Jack Wagner. I can tell you that. All right, now let's find out what happened today in music history, because I'm sure you all want to find out what happened today on October 3rd, and I don't know why I pulled up November 3rd. So let me pull up October 3rd, because I had November 3rd. All right, here we go. What happened today? Elvis Presley in 45 made his first ever public appearance in a talent contest at the Mississippi, Alabama Dairy Singing Old Shep. I'm sorry, at the Alabama Dairy Show, and he sang Old Shep Elvis was 10 years old at the time and came in second. Those people. So, in 66 on this date, the Zombies, She's Not There, was released on this date. In 75, The Who released their 7th studio album, The Who by Numbers. It featured Squeezebox and Slip Kid. In 1980, on this date, the Police released their 3rd studio album, Zenyatta Mendata. It features Don't Stand So Close to Me, Canary in a Coal Mine, and Do, 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 a Da, Da, Da. That's all I want to say to you. Let's see. In 82, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 released their debut studio album, The Message. And it features the songs It's Nasty, Scorpio, and The Message, of course, which is just legendary. In 88, Hollywood premiered the acclaimed documentary Imagine from John Lennon. In 92 on this date, Shinehead O'Connor tore up a photograph of the Pope in front of the Saturday Night Live audience in protest of the Vatican. She ripped the photo as she sang the word evil and said, "Fight the real enemy," and threw the pieces towards the camera. Executive producer Lorne Michael recalled that the air went out of the studio after the moment, and after seeing the act, Michaels ordered that the applause sign not be used. NBC received 4,400 calls in total complaining about O'Connor, but NBC was not fined by the Federal Communications Commission. The act aired on East-West Coast broadcast, but reruns air footage from the singer's dress rehearsal. But they aired the footage from the singer's dress rehearsal instead. On September 16 of 2025, Margot Price referenced O'Connor's actions by tearing up a piece of paper bearing the word bastards just before performing her song, Don't Let the Bastards Get You Down, on an episode of Jimmy Kimmel on ABC. And in 94 on this date, the Cranberries released their 2nd studio album, No Need to Argue. The debut album released the year before, No Need to Argue. It took on more of an emotional and darker tone with songs like Zombie, based on a bombing in England that occurred during the Troubles in Northern Ireland. Ode to My Family, in which the frontwoman Dolores O'Riordan, rest in peace, reflects fondly on her childhood and ridiculous thoughts. Let's see what else. In 97, Sugar Ray are grounded when lead singer Mike McGrath hurt his leg in Bologna, Italy on the first date of their European tour, which is postponed. In 2000 on this date, the Cars singer and bass player Benjamin Orr died of cancer in his home in Atlanta at the age of 53. Can we fix this cancer crap already? Just takes way too many people, man. Too many of the people we love. And it does it every damn day. In 2011, according to New Scientific Research, Queen's We Are the Champions was found to be the catchiest song ever written based on listeners' instincts to sing along. Musicologist Dr. Alison Polly from the University of London, England, conducted research into what makes a song memorable and compiled a list of 10 catchiest songs of all time. And during the search, Polly discovered that the sing-along songs contain 4 elements: long and detailed musical phrases, musical pitch changes in a song's hook, male vocalist, and higher male voices making a noticeable vocal effort. All right, let me see if I got any other birthdays that weren't on the list. So far, no. G Love is 53, just in case, if anybody cares. And that's it. Nothing else on music history. Thank you all out there, as always. And where are we at with Bitcoin right now? Are we at 124 yet? Are we at a record 124? Not yet. We're at 123,556. 123,820. Look out. Man, we are tearing it right now, dude. Like, it is crazy what's going on here. Love it. Let's bring it up. Do we go to 124? Man. And look at the let me see if I can yeah, I don't know why it's look at that. Look at the 7-day. Look at that run now. When we were right here at 109 on the 28th of September. We were at 109 on the 28th of September. It's the 3rd. 5 days later, from 109 to almost 124. Is that crazy? That's why you gotta be patient and don't worry about the volatility and what happens within small windows. Just when in doubt, as we like to say, zoom out. And when you look at all, just look. Just look what's happened. I explained this to you right here. 16,445 on November 29, 2022. From there, where are we going? From there, up. Well, you got a little cut down, big deal. Up again. What, it came back again? Big deal. That's when you buy. That's when you buy. That's when you buy. All of this is when you buy. All these, like this one right here, you see a little dip and then now it's going back up again. That's when you buy. And when we shoot to the next level, which will be 130, 135, 140, whatever, and then there's a correction, that's when you buy. Not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Okay? Just make sure, do your own homework. That's all I can tell you. Frankie says, are we gullible too when we get our high hopes with the Dolphins, but every time you start the show, you keep reminding us the amount of days it's been? Well, they're not going anywhere, bro. Frankie, I never raised your hopes the entire offseason. If you raised your hopes, that was you, dude. And did I give them any hopium in the entire offseason, Sean? Did I use any hopium at all? None. Now I did pump some hopium the years before, thinking that, hey, they got a shot with the roster and all that, but the coach didn't prove it to me, so it's over. And that's it. You had a chance. But I told you from the get-go, I've done this already on Twitter many times. People complain to me, well, the defense is terrible. Oh, and this and I go, well, you didn't listen to my show. I told you the defense wasn't good. I told you this defense was going to be easy to attack. I love the pass rush, but they have no secondary. You can attack this defense really easy. The quick passes in the running game, and you have young defensive tackles. Like, who told you this defense was going to be really good? And so that, Frankie, it's like Bitcoin and money. So if you keep leaning on money instead of Bitcoin, bro, that's your fault. You didn't do the homework. You know what I mean? You're the idiot. So if you stood there and looked at this team and thought they were a playoff team, well, you're the idiot, not me. If you build up your hopes on there was no concrete evidence that this team was going to be a good team. And by the way, with that coach, there's no concrete evidence you would ever be a good team with that coach. So that's where I have a problem with that, Frankie. If you built yourself up, it's because you didn't do your homework. Or at least you didn't listen to our show, since we do the homework for you and we kind of tell you what we think is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So those of you that built yourselves up, you did it on your own. And you misinformed yourself because the team showed you all offseason they weren't shit. And any writer that thought they were a playoff team, they were just writing it to write some hopium. Okay? Just like I truly believe that if all the writers, I don't know if they all did or not, but let me just do this as an example. If all the writers made some scenario that the Dolphins are a playoff team, then they're just pumping hopium. See, me, I knew you weren't going to the playoffs. I knew you weren't going to be shit. So I don't have to go after you because I expected you to not be shit. There you go. So I'm not here to build something up so I can then tear it down. Yeah, nah, I'm not doing that. So it's just like the defense. You didn't do your homework, bro. Why? Because they have pass rushers? That has nothing to do with the defense, that it's going to make you complete. If you can't stop the run and you can't cover, it doesn't matter what your pass rushers are. You know? Just weird. This is a year where, you know, and it's football. Everybody lies to themselves because they want to have success. And they can't also face the music that their team is not that good. That's the screwed up part, Frankie. A lot of people can't face the music that their team is not that good. They don't want to know that. They don't want to hear that. Oh, no, O's going to tell me we're not going to the playoffs and we're not going to be good. I don't want to hear that. Remember that fan that I pointed out? There's a lot of them like him. Oh, my God, David, I can't believe that you and Big O are dismissing the season before it starts. That's bad fans. We're not here to, we're here to do the show objectively. We're not here to do it with pom-poms. You can go watch lots of fans that do shows. Go ahead. Not going to get any honesty and you're not going to get real insight, but you can go ahead if that's the echo chamber you want to hear. So, Frankie, I blame whoever built themselves up for this season. That's your fault. Whoever thought the defense was going to be great, that's your fault. Nobody else. And Weaver said it himself, and he's right, and I'm not his left tackle either, but I even told you guys, it'll take a half a year for him to figure it out. The second half, they'll play better, but he's got to figure out what's what. He doesn't know who's who right now. He's got to figure that out. So, all I need is just a little more time to be sure. Yeah, I remember. Let's see. Dolphin Dave says, I can see the big picture with the Dolphins right now, and it's going to be good. Finally. It's going to be good. Finally, go Dolphins. Not sure if that's what I see right now. Dolphin Dave says, I'm telling you, John Lynch is becoming a really good GM. Might even go to the Hall of Fame as a GM. He needs to win a Super Bowl, but he's done an excellent job. And I got to give Shanahan a lot of credit, bro, because they've got a lot of injuries, and they're still winning games, dude. You know, the apple fell really far from the tree. Like, really far. Like the Mike McDaniel apple, it was on a tree that was on top of a mountain, and the apple fell and it like rolled all the way down the mountain. It got caught up in a stream. The stream took it all the way down to a dam. The dam dumped it off into a river. The river led down into some canal, and the canal led somewhere into a sewer, and then we ended up with it. Because that apple fell far. Far. I mean, far. Okay? So now we need to go for 124. I mean, that's just kind of the target now, right? We're already at 123,896. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Let's go. Give me more. Let me refresh here just in case. Oh, I refreshed it. It went worse. 896-848. Come on, let's go. 803. I'm trying to show off here to get 124. What's going on here? Bitcoin's not agreeing with me. By the way, don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button, please. Okay? We're going to hit 124. I don't know if it'll be while I'm on, but it's a beautiful thing. That's all I can tell you, folks. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How are we doing another one? Solana's up 3.5%. Let's see. Avalanche, 4%. Star Atlas, 4.5%. Ethereum, 3.5%. Cardano, 3.5%. XRP, 2%. Vanguard Chain up 8%. I need to climb a lot more than that. Immutable X has been moving good the last couple of weeks. It's up 10.5%, up to 78 cents now. So that's good. Some good ones. BNB Smart Chain is up 10%. It's up over $1,100. It's at $1,161 now. And BNB was down at the 200 range when it hit the bottom couple years back. Whoever got on is enjoying it big time. I don't have BNB, but wow, it's already over $1,100 Binance. That's truly amazing, dude. Truly amazing. Wow. Man, gotta tell you, it's insane. Let's see what else. Shame on the Dolphins. I always have to go to the Dolphins reruns on YouTube. Let's see. Even your wife told you not to talk to us like that. Yeah, my wife says I shouldn't say the negative stuff about the Dolphins, or like, no, you shouldn't tell them that it's going to be a bad year. My wife's afraid of that, and I'm like, I'm not like that. I can't do that. I'm not going to lie to people. I'm not. If I think they're going to do good, then I was wrong, and that's it. But I'm not going to create shit. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to. Lots of people do that on radio. They play the fan game. Oh, we're going to be good. We're going to be good. We're good. Oh, I thought so too. And deep down inside, they, half those people, they don't even want to talk to you. They don't even want to deal with you guys or anything like that. They just put up an act, It's just kind of the way it goes. Too many people, especially on radio, they feel like they have to play a shtick. And it's funny because I've seen it personally, because when they come off the air, they're completely different. On air, they're smiling and they might take a phone call or two of yours. Off the air, they don't want anything to do with you. On the air, they're feeding you bullshit about the Dolphins and tell you, yeah, no, they got a chance. Off the air, they're not going anywhere. Because they're afraid of being honest, too. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy how this business goes. Let's see. What else do we have? And even the journey of the apple falling, McDaniel still speaking at his press conference. Has he said anything yet, Sean? Has McDaniel said anything earth-shattering? I doubt it, right? I doubt it. I do want to remind you folks that we'll be back tomorrow night, post-game for FSU Miami. Manny Navarro will join us post-game also, so we'll get his thoughts on the game. Sunday, we'll have pre- and post-game for you starting at 11:30 in the morning. We'll get you ready for the Dolphins at Carolina. And then we'll have the post-game show. David Furones, as always, The Rock. And then, of course, Chris Perkins will also join us, both fresh from the locker room in Carolina. So we'll get their thoughts on, hopefully, the win, because they are playing a bad team, but you never know, because no game is going to be easy for the Miami Dolphins. So, yes, sir.
I guess not earth-shattering, but Tyreek was back in the building today, attended all team meetings, and made sure team was still motivated.
There you go. He goes, watching the Robinhood chart makes you feel better, 124. Oh, yeah, you go to crypto.com. Like right now, CoinMarketCap, which is the legit one, it's at 123,861, right? Go to crypto.com right now. And I'll tell you what Bitcoin is. It's funny. You're so right, because they sell it to you at a much more expensive price. That's why. Okay, so Bitcoin right now on crypto.com is 124,807. It's 1,000 more right now. 1,000 more, dude. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it there, but 1,000 more. 124,782. See? Wow. So it's just like, and if you buy it there, you buy it more expensive. That's all. But that's kind of how it goes. You're going to buy it a little more expensive than what the price is at the moment. That's business, So they get a little piece of everything that you buy or sell. They always get a little piece. That's how they survive and they make a living. All right, folks, enjoy Bitcoin getting to 124. Enjoy the Canes. Enjoy the Dolphins. Enjoy Fort Lauderdale United taking on Tampa Bay. Check them out on Peacock. And if you're going to watch, the other games live, go back and watch them on demand and cheer on the ladies. We will see you tomorrow night for the post-game show for the Canes and FSU. We thank David Furones. We thank Manny Navarro. If you missed those interviews, you can go back and check it out. Of course, we thank the great Sean Stanley. We shall see you. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, I mentioned that right there, the Big E bracelets. Make sure you get Big E strong and help our guy Ian out. He's got a lot of medical bills, and he's still waiting for that transplant. So let's fight the good fight with Ian, and let's help out Big E and his family get through a really tough time. There's all the information on the billboard. Check out it. The Sports Babe and Lou will get you the bands, and you're supporting Big E, and stay Big E strong. We'll see you on Saturday and Sunday. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.